The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op. Hello,
everybody,
and welcome.
That might have been your best intro.
That was good, right?
That was great.
I'm trying to get more energy into it.
That might be the one. Yeah, I think you found it.
I
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to. I had to acknowledge
it just got into you.
Do it
man.
again.
Oh, you want me? Oh, here we go.
No.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome
Yes, let's go.
to the TrapNerd Sports Podcast.
That's twice.
That's fire.
I'm your host, Drew Clark. To the left of me, we have an open chair. Rest in peace, Harry. He's not dead. He just had to go to a vet appointment.
Gone but not forgotten.
Hope Oliver's dick's doing better.
Damn.
Didn't want to go this wild to begin it, but you know what? We're
Might as well spark it up. It's a good day. I'm back.
Guy had a UTI. I'm sorry. I wanted to get sued by Oliver for putting out his medical information out there. That's his dog. He's fine. Joe's back.
Yeah.
Where you been, man?
Fucked up.
You been around with Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah.
This dude got COVID and shit.
I had it
Doesn't
real
even
bad.
exist.
I had it real bad.
You beat COVID?
I beat it. I conquered it.
Let's go.
I took it, and I made it my bitch.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shit don't even exist anymore. The fact that it got to you kind
It
of
was
says
bad.
a lot about
Yo,
you.
you know the craziest part about having it is that I had every single symptom, and it would come.
Checked off every box.
Yo, it did every single one.
He's
And
like, it might not be COVID. I just lost my taste. It's like that. They
but
look
listen-
down the boat. Shortness of breath.
Dude,
Fuck,
listen.
fever.
I got sick, right? No cough. Had this excruciating head pain, headache. Right? It was bad. Like, I couldn't even hear myself think. It was bad. Nothing would get rid of it.
His conscience wasn't even talking to him.
Yo.
That's how you know it's crazy.
He's like looking around. He's like,
can't
did I
you
hear
hear?
something?
Then I had like this pressure behind my eyes. I'm going to make it quick, but
No, let's go.
then, so
World needs to
boom.
know.
So now I'm starting to feel a little better, right? I'm like, oh, it was just like a little head cold or something. And then I'm laying there later on that night, and all of a sudden my nose is stuffy and runny at the same time. I don't even know how that
At the same
to
damn
explain
time.
it. Yeah, it was crazy, right? Then all of a sudden I have a cough. I'm coughing all the time, real bad. No, not coughing nothing up yet. Just a dry cough, right?
That's the worst.
Yeah. So then the next day, I start coughing things up. Nose is running. Got my headache, right? Whatever. I go get an energy drink. I go get that energy drink.
Those ghost
Which kind is it?
cherry limeade.
Okay, it's not that one. I got the strawberry margarita one.
Should have got the cherry limeade.
It didn't matter.
Killed everything.
It didn't matter, dude. I drank it. I'm like, yo, this shit is bland as fuck. Right? Come to find out, I just didn't have any taste buds. They were gone.
Did you get him back?
The next day, now I have like this sinus infection, and my boogers are mad green, and my phlegm's mad green, but my taste just came back. It was crazy. I've went through it.
Glad you're on the other side.
Yeah, I still got this little cough lingering, but
Thank God Aaron Rodgers is not the VP yet, and you probably could have got some medical care if you
You
wanted
would have been
it.
saved.
damn, I didn't even think about that.
He would have sent you.
Is he really quitting football?
No, but RFK was like put him on a short list or something. I'm like,
He went.
It only
He went
la-
and
it only
visited him.
lasted- It only lasted like a day.
I guess like the
RFK
Jets
has
players
no
were like
chance at
pissed
winning.
off at him.
this is just Aaron Rodgers, bro. Aaron Rodgers is insufferable. He's the worst. And he was, if you would ask me 5 years ago, he was like one of my favorite players of all time. I can't stand him now. And
Let
it's
me
not
ask
just
you
because he's on the Jets. He's just an insufferable fuck.
Yo, if
He just doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the world. Like, you're going to put Aaron Rodgers as your VP. And instead of Aaron
He was
Rodgers,
just joking.
instead of Aaron,
It
he was
wasn't
not
a joke.
He was
joking.
joking.
It wasn't
RFK
a
was not
joke.
joking.
He really went there and like met with him.
And instead of Aaron
He's in
Rodgers,
Puerto Rico. He's getting his ayahuasca with Jordan Poyer and Von Miller.
was he really?
Yeah.
Who was?
Aaron Rodgers.
Now, dude, know what he's doing. He's
Would
trying
you
to
do that
mind
shit?
control our teammates.
Would you do that shit?
I would do it.
See. After seeing like the videos, because I guess Poyer he's making like a documentary or something. He already released some like clips of it. He brought his mom and his brother or whatever. And after like actually seeing it, because before I was like, oh fuck it, maybe, bro, they have you sit in this like heated ass tent. It's like 200 degrees in there. Like that's when you really start contemplating your life. Like, okay, I gotta hold on. But whenever you want to get out, they could open the door for you. But it's like so after I seen that, I said, "Fuck that, I ain't doing that."
So there's like those are like the super expensive like bougie ones, but there's like other people who will just do it and it's like under the care supervision. I don't know much about it.
You would do it?
I would do it. I would do it. If I would have to be like around like people who know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, for sure.
I've done
Is it like
hallucinogenics
drugs?
before. I like hallucinogenics.
Oh, you take drugs. That's what it is?
Yeah, it's like
Essentially, yeah.
it's like it's a hallucinogenic. That's what it is. It's like
Really?
the shrooms or peyote or
Peyote sounds nuts.
it's like
Just the name, bro.
No, but I know what it is, man.
it's a similar thing. It's what the
It's
natives
supposed to
in
be
like
way
Arizona and
stronger.
stuff
It's supposed to
would
be like
use.
the toad.
I don't think it's stronger than ayahuasca though.
I don't know what
I think
ayahuasca
ayahuasca
is.
is like a long time.
So I thought
Like, you know-
ayahuasca was just like you go sit in some darkness.
Wait a minute, it's like
So I was
you
wrong.
hear the echo on him? I just want to make sure.
Talk again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn yourself down just a little bit.
Don't tell me what to do. I don't even know how to turn
You're
myself
hearing
down.
it from my headphones over here.
Good.
You're good.
All right, well, let's keep talking about ayahuasca. No, it's like I don't know enough about it, but it's like the shamans and shit.
I thought that
do-
was DMT.
DMT is like a super short amount of time.
Okay.
Like you do DMT, you feel like you're gone for hours, but when you come back, your friends are like, you've been high for 5 minutes. But ayahuasca, it's like I said, I don't know everything about it, but the whole process that like the rich people go through is they take it and they have like these shamans who like the
Like
heat,
a guide, right?
yeah, the heat and like the darkness and that stuff is just part of like a ritual that they feel like is the best way to go about it.
Damn, but they be getting high.
That's
But it's
fun.
not high. You're not high.
You
You're
see things?
hallucinating.
That's being high.
No, that's different. Smoking weed is being high.
We
You
need to
can
get
see
Aaron-
things while
you
you
gotta
smoke
get
weed.
Aaron Rodgers on here to break it down for you.
Yeah.
I got some friends who've done it.
You ain't got no friends.
You got to bring him in.
Yeah, we'll just like once a month instead of being a sports podcast, we'll just do some.
We should just
random-
become like the Joe Rogan podcast.
just random interviews.
That's what I'm
Hey,
talking
might as
how was
well.
your ayahuasca?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a good little conversation to start it out.
Educational.
I'm glad you can taste things, Joe.
Thanks, man.
Pause.
yo.
That sounded weird. I know.
You made it more weird when
I
you said
know,
pause. You
I
could have just
know.
let it go.
I could have.
And that was that.
We're talking about UTIs and ayahuasca, and this is just going off the rails.
It's
But-
off season, you gotta love it.
We're dead smack in the middle of the greatest postseason tournament in the world. I don't give a fuck about the World Cup. I don't care about none of that. March Madness is the best postseason in all of sports.
I think so too. I've come to that conclusion, man. My bad, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
It's just, dude, it's just so much better. Like yeah, the Super Bowl's great and the finals is cool, or the World Series, whatever. But these kids, they're fucking children, first of all, and for the most part,
No, I know. Finish because I want to talk about that too.
for the most part though, they care a lot. Like they'll cry afterwards. I don't know. It's just intense.
So a lot of people are saying like they're mad because there's not a lot of star power on the men's side. But I kind of actually
On
like
the men's side,
there's not a lot of like star players. Like there's
in March Madness.
this year, yeah. Like there's no like Zion, there's no
But
Anthony Davis.
I mean, that's not it's not their fault that there's no like iconic people coming out of this class.
No, what I'm saying is people are like less like it's obviously not true because apparently the ratings have came out and they've been really good. But leading up to it, people were worried that like people weren't going to watch as much because there wasn't a lot.
there
of
wasn't
star
somebody
players.
you were waiting
There's no
to
star
see.
power.
Yeah,
Yeah, the star power is for like not to get off a little off track, but the star power is coming from overseas. The backs what you were saying.
and the women's side this year,
I don't know the women's basketball. There's this freshman
Juju,
man.
Yeah.
She's fucking nice,
Yeah.
dude.
USC, right?
Yeah.
they won again last night.
She's probably gonna be better than Caitlin Clark,
I don't know
man.
about that.
Dude, she's already breaking records. It's crazy.
Caitlin Clark just broke. All right, I guess we'll talk about the women's real quick. Caitlin Clark just broke not Sue Bird. Who was the other girl? What was the girl's name?
I forgot. I know what you're talking about.
Kelly, or,
She has the
fuck.
most points in.
She's plays for the Aces right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't she have the most points
Aaron
for
Wallace.
She
Wow.
just broke it. So
Yeah.
so Caitlin Clark already broke the all-time points thing, and she actually did. Kelsey Plum,
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
and she already did it in less games than Kelsey Plum, but she was like 90-something points back when the regular season ended. So she needed a certain amount of points, whatever, between the tournament and the March Madness tournament, and she just broke it last game. Either it was either last night's game or the game before, but she broke that now. So she literally has every single major record ever. The way she just looks.
She's nice.
I mean, Iowa's a 1 seed, and I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert on women's basketball.
I only know so many girl players anyway.
But the consensus is like South Carolina's the best team.
Who's on that team?
I don't know any of their names.
Just nice.
They just have
They're
like
just the
they
best.
have like 7 pro prospects, and their coach, I guess, is like after Pat Summitt died, is like that's the lady.
Right.
But Caitlin Clark is just. I don't want to disrespect her teammates, but she's been like pretty much given the respect that she's been kind of elevating these girls who probably wouldn't be too much of a tournament team without her. And she's definitely going to be the number 1 pick and probably what's going to end up being one of the most stacked female drafts ever.
You think this is it? This could be one of the most stacked.
Yeah, there's like a couple like Angel Reese will be coming out and she's amazing in her own part. I fucking love her, by the way. She's fouled, or the girl got fouled out on her, and she fucking waved bye to her and stuff. Made her. I love that.
I mean,
shit.
the whole ring shit last year when they played Iowa, all up in Caitlin Clark's face.
That's another thing. People were so mad about that shit, and first of all,
People are
Caitlin
soft.
Clark was doing it first.
Yeah, people are
we
soft.
forget about that.
Yeah, she was doing it first, and she did it back because they beat her or whatever.
Yeah.
Now she's scum because she did that or something.
It's
That
okay.
shit's
It's okay to
stupid.
talk shit, bro.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
better to talk
I
shit.
think-
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a firm believer that some of the rules that these leagues make of not being able to do that stuff kind of makes the sport whack.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think like for Tyreek Hill, like when he goes like this, and or Josh Allen last year, he like pointed at someone, laughed because he juked him out and pump faked him and then ran a touchdown in. Like that shit is a part of sports.
it's fun.
That's fun. I want to see that. Like, yo, that shit was crazy.
Right.
And people are like,
Then you
oh,
get
this is
penalized.
you don't wanna be a role model for the kids or whatever. It's like, yeah, when kids are, you shouldn't let kids do that. But these are grown men at the top of their sport.
Making a full salary.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're at the top of their sport. Like if you don't want him to do that to you, then stop him from doing it,
They are worth
or stop her
more
from
than
doing
everyone combined talking about them not doing it.
It's-
Think about that though.
it. Yeah, it's
You're
dumb.
Like, you guys are like, he can't do this, but he makes 75 times your
Yeah.
10-year salary. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think it's dumb as well. But for the female side, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. I know there's like 3 or 4 names I can't remember.
The one from Stanford too. I forget.
The
her
girl from
name.
UConn too. I don't know if she's gonna be in this draft, but
Oh,
she's
yeah.
really good.
Juju's gonna be nice, but she ain't coming out for a
Yeah,
couple
she's
years.
not. She's got
She's
the
a true freshman.
WNBA. You have to wait 3 years.
She's gonna go do some records.
Yeah, she probably
She's
will.
nice, dude.
She is. She's really good.
She's really good.
But over the next, I think the WNBA is starting to hit that. We forget how young the WNBA is, but you look back at every sport, and the talent levels just aren't there until until the money starts getting in, until kids are like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's why you've seen the NBA in the 80s just fucking skyrocket. That's why you see the NFL. But the talent's actually getting to the WNBA now, where we're gonna see parity in good basketball.
The only problem that I have with the WNBA, and I would watch it if it wasn't for some quarters teams only score 8.
That's the lack of talent.
And I like me personally, I like to watch the ball go in the hoop. Not for real though.
I think a lot of us could say that.
That's what I'm saying. So it's hard for me to get into it because I see the scores and it'd be like, it was like 9-8 in the second quarter. Like,
no, that's
I've seen it.
yeah, but that's there's a,
You're telling me for 10 minutes, 17 points got scored
there's no way, dude. I gotta
Dude,
look at the average
That's
amount of
real
points.
strap.
I gotta look at the average
per quarter.
Strapped up.
It's bad.
WNBA teams by points scored.
Yo, but
Maybe I'm thinking of college though.
Maybe.
Maybe, but like Sabrina Ionescu, what's helping the WNBA is that she's on the same platform as like Steph Curry at like the All Star game,
Yeah, that was
doing
cool.
that 3-point competition. You know what I mean? So
That's cool. They
that's
should
gonna be a big
incorporate
pillar
shit
of
like that. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So
They said next year it's got to be Caitlin Clark versus Curry.
you know they're gonna throw in. I forgot who pitched it. It might have been on the broadcast.
They
actually.
should give a woman's like all-star game. That'd be cool.
that too. But like even if they do like a 2-on-2 like 3-point contest, put like Sabrina and Caitlin Clark against like Steph Curry and Clay,
Dame.
somebody.
Oh, nah,
you know what I
Dame's
mean?
better than
But
Clay.
you said Dame over Clay. Well, you're a Dame homer.
I like Dame, but he is way better than Clay Thompson.
I'm not. I was just saying.
As
'cause
a shooter,
Clash, bro.
though,
That's what I'm
Clay,
saying.
Clay's
No,
Clay's better than Dame.
shooting. Not a
Just at
chance.
3-point shooting.
Not a chance.
Pull
Not a
it up,
chance.
Josh. I know you got. I know
You can pull it up
found
if you want. There's no way. There's no chance.
What stat do you want to go off?
I don't care. Whatever you want to go off.
Well,
of.
we're obviously-
Pick
we're
it
talk-
before you look at it, though.
We'll go off 3-point field
Yeah.
goals made and field goal percentage.
Okay.
Which I think Klay Thompson's going to smoke him in field goal percentage because Dame is like the number one focus of defenses. But
And
Are you
also-
doing just this year?
no, I'm just doing
Yeah, all time.
all the time.
That's
Also,
what I want.
That's Clay's game. That's like his main.
Yeah, Dame's just way better than Clay ever will be.
He is a way better player for sure.
Yeah, bro. All I'm saying is
I'm just letting
Splash
you
Bros
know.
versus Sabrina.
3-point percentage, Klay Thompson's 40% better.
40% better.
Or 4%, my bad. 4%, not 40.
How many
It doesn't
made?
have threes though.
40 would have been crazy.
That would've been
Playoffs, he's 4% or 3% better in the playoffs
Klay
for
is?
3-point percentage. Clay is, but it's not showing 3-pointers made. It's the stat.
I don't know. If
use
you
thing. It's
if
showing
you told me to
head-to-head.
pick between Dame and Clay, I'm picking Dame.
Absolutely.
And you got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But back to college basketball. Caitlin Clark, Iowa win last night. A lot of people are saying they kind of got bailed out by the refs. They were getting every call. I agree. That's the power of star power, though. I'm gonna be honest. I really only watch the games that have Juju, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark in. I don't know enough about everything else. It's fun watching those girls play. I'm ready for the WNBA to have a legit pool of talent and not like 10 really good girls, and then whoever has Sabrina Ionescu is just like running shit.
Yeah.
But as a fucking Liberty fan,
That's your team.
yeah, they lost.
Who?
The Aces were unreal. Liberty had the best season they've ever had, I think, and the Aces I just smoked them in the finals.
Yeah.
But it's like it's getting to the point that maybe in a couple years they can start expanding.
There's
Like,
going to be a balance.
yeah, there's so many more girls coming out per year. Like over the past 5 years, we've had how many generational talents? Sabrina Ionescu was like Kobe's like protege, was supposed to be the best female player in forever. Then only 3 years later, now you got Caitlin Clark, and in 2 years from now, you're gonna have Juju Watkins. So I think there's a lot more talent being inserted into the game, and it's going. My problem with the WNBA was never like, oh, they don't dunk. It was just there wasn't a balance of talent, and I feel like that we're getting there now. There's way more star power going into the league. There's way more, hopefully, parity in the future coming. But they got to break up the Aces because that team is way too fucking good. But going to the men's side, I'm okay with the star power not completely being there because I feel like everyone had a chance this year. Like the games were close. The first day of games was kind of underwhelming. There was like a lot of blowouts. The only good game really was Kansas versus Stanford, and then the upset. Kentucky was the next day, right? Yeah.
Kentucky fucking
Yeah.
sucks, man. They said if you bet against Kentucky the last 3 years, you'd be up like $1,700.
Probably more because they
Something
was
like
like
that.
they were like plus 3,500. Or
I bet.
Oakland was.
Fucking dudes suck, man. I'm so sick of. From now on, I'm not just following these big teams like that are supposed to be good. I'm sick of seeing this shit, dude. I even told Harry like about BYU. They fucking suck, man. And they're just these high seeds, and guess what? They just get bounced.
Well, this year the problem was a lot of people had problems with the seedings going into the tournament. Teams like, even though New Mexico I thought was completely underseeded, they were fucking awful. They got bounced in like a 20-point game. But like, I thought South Carolina was overseeded and they played well. But like Illinois wasn't. A lot of the teams people complained about are playing really well. Kentucky was seeded high because they played really well against good teams. They beat Tennessee. Pretty sure they beat Alabama.
They lost to
twice, if not
LSU
once. But they played. They were up to be. They had the talent and the resume to be a 3 seed, maybe a high 4 seed. That's not the problem. The problem is Calipari is not a good coach. He's a good recruiter, and he gets these kids in. And especially now in this day and age of, I thought the COVID shit was over last year, but we're still getting these 6-year seniors. There's a couple guys who are on their 8th and 9th year. When you get a couple, which ridiculous, but you get a bunch of these kids who've never really played in a big game. They're talented, but they don't know the right plays to make.
Right.
And the reason basketball is my favorite sport on earth is because a good team will beat a good player every single time. Like that, like it's the reason the Spurs before had to teach LeBron how to win games. Like they were the better. LeBron was the best player. The Spurs were the better team. If you're making the right plays, you got a team that has all this chemistry. You can find a way to win. And then of course you need some crazy shit like Jack Golke hitting 10 threes, but talent-wise, they shouldn't even have been in the game.
That's all that dude shoots his threes.
But he shoots them. It's not like he's spotting them up. He's fucking falling away. Like
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang.
yeah. So
Bang.
Calipari's a great recruiter. Those kids, and the one thing I will say about Calipari is Kentucky players have the best hit rate, I feel like, in the NBA. Like, all of the guys you think are going to be good end up being good. John Wall was amazing before he got hurt. AD, Devin Booker, there's a fucking 100 other, Karl Anthony Towns. There's 100 other people that they always end up being good pros. Quickly was it like the 14th pick.
I think like the kids that
Maxey.
Yeah, but like man, some of these kids ain't going to the NBA. You would think they would try better.
Yeah, but I feel like Calipari his thing is that's what college is for a lot of these kids. Is you want to come here, you want to learn how to be an NBA player, come here. I don't know. As a Kentucky fan, I wouldn't be happy about it. But they're now 1-4 in their last 5 games, with losses to a 15 seed in St. Peter's and a 14 seed in Oakland. And St. Peter's went and won 2 more games.
Oakland didn't.
But yeah, Oakland went out. They held their own, but they ended up losing the next round. And
There, you know what? This year there's no like Cinderella story really.
yeah, they're like Oakland looked like it would be. Yale looked like it could be.
Yale got smacked.
Me and Harry were talking about it though.
They got fucking smacked.
At Yale,
They should have
finish
never
that-
beat Auburn, man.
we're gonna
about
get
to
there.
go off right
We're
here.
gonna get there. Me and Harry talked about it. The beginning of the tournament was very tough to predict because the seeding was a little off. There's no dominant teams outside of the ones we know, the top
Yeah.
4. Duke was looking suspect coming in, even though they've been great so far in the tournament. A lot of these teams were looking suspect. NC State looked suspect all season, but was getting hot. It was very tough to predict the first couple of
NC
games.
State looks good.
But as this tournament goes on, you're gonna see the high seeds win. The high seeds that lasted to this point, I
Yep.
feel like are gonna be the seeds.
That's
win.
the thing though, is that the high seeds they do nothing but smack whoever they're playing.
because they're the best teams.
Well, it's just I think that a lot of other years besides like a lot of the 11 seeds won this year, like besides shit like that, when it's starting to get down to like I kind of don't like that these teams will win. Like an 11 seed will be what do they play? 3, 5 seeds.
11 plays
4.
6.
11 plays 4, I think.
No, 11 plays 6.
Well, 12 plays 5.
12 plays 5. 13 plays 4. 11 plays 6.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all these 11 seeds beat all these 6 seeds, and then went to the next round and looked like 11 seeds.
Well, the problem with that was
I don't like that.
That was the seeding.
Bro, they got smacked.
Oregon, South Carolina were very, very similar teams. They shouldn't have been 5 seeds away.
Oregon looked good. I was
NC
impressed
State.
with them.
NC State could have been a higher seed, but the middle of the year they were really bad. So like I picked them to beat Texas Tech. I thought they were a better team than Texas Tech. They won their games. That stuff I think is the seeding, but
My son, Ohio State ain't make it. That shit got me pissed off.
to get to fucking Yale, I don't have anything to support this, so this is gonna be conspiracy theory. But I have no doubt in my mind that at least some college games are being influenced by Vegas bookmakers. This like shit.
I think they're doing it themselves,
dude,
man.
it's the fact. If you watch that Yale versus Auburn game, Yale was not even good for a 13 seed in my opinion. Auburn was my favorite 4 seed. I was going back and forth between Auburn and UConn the entire time because I was like, I love UConn. They're a really good team, but Auburn, it was great. They go in there and they lose to Yale. And not only do they lose to Yale, there were so many boneheaded plays, and then there's like 7 seconds left on the game. A guy who's an 84% free throw shooter gets to the fucking line to tie the game and misses both. He doesn't come close. It doesn't roll out. He doesn't overshoot like most nervous kids do. He hardly touches the front of the rim. And then Yale goes and gets fucking smacked by San Diego State.
Yeah.
And I guarantee Yale had a bunch of money on them to beat San Diego State after beating Auburn. It just, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense. And college kids, we already know, are already too vulnerable to being paid or to doing things to make money.
You got like I was saying earlier, you got to think that a lot of these kids ain't gonna go on to make money.
99% of them.
Yeah, a lot of these kids are gonna be probably like not talking shit, but working at like Walmart or something, unless they get a job with
There'll
their
be coaches
degree.
and there'll be
Maybe not though.
accountants,
Like
and there'll be
dude, there's so many kids that they're not
know.
gonna be coaches.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
number 50 on
BYU.
BYU, that dude is gonna be pushing carts.
Yo.
He'll at least be a bouncer in a club. That's a big boy.
But what I'm saying is, like, he definitely had money against himself. That dude, man.
Yeah, he single-handedly lost that game for them.
He literally.
What's I can't remember the names of all these guys, but the two dudes on BYU were just smoking shit. And then every time he would get the ball, just fucking miss, ball, bounce off the front
Give
of
the ball to the other team. He'd be like, here, Tank.
Oh, thanks, man.
Here's the ball.
Appreciate it.
Just like that.
Yeah, he was bad. I don't know. Like I said,
But
nothing to prove it. And I don't want to talk about it too long because we don't have like facts on this shit. I don't want to sound like
But we're
a conspiracy
starting
theorist.
to get it, though. Like, Butte betting 9,000 bets, including on himself. Like,
What's it called?
Otani.
Otani.
We
with
have
the
to talk about
translator.
that, too.
Yeah.
Nah, that shit was him, man. You're telling
know.
me that how much does this translator
It
get
was like
paid a year?
$6 million that he stole.
No,
Stole?
how much does his translator get paid a year? Maybe
Great
a
question.
$500,000 at the most?
Yeah.
$250,000? Something
Great
like
question.
that? So you're telling me this bookie gave him a $1 million
Bet.
credit line?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Oh, you make $100,000 a year? Yeah, I'll give you $1 million line. What? Man. And it's starting to show, like, I
Pete
think
Rose
more.
said, "I wish I had a translator."
I feel like we see it more and more. These dudes drop balls in football when they like easy catches. They'll just drop. I don't know. It's just starting to feel like people are finding easy money, and as much as they say they investigate and make sure that this doesn't happen, it's so easy to get around. All you need is cash and somebody else somewhere else that nobody knows that you're tied to them, and that's it.
So in pro sports, I will say, I even though there is stuff that I'm like I've said it even on the show that I'm very suspicious about. At the end of the day, pro sports at least have more to lose than they do to gain. Because if it was if it was to pop out that the NFL was a WWE, they would lose how much money overnight? Like the players, if they get kicked out of the league, let's say they find a way to pin this on Otani. Now he's losing $700 million for what? To make a couple million in bets or even lose a couple million
But
in
that
bets?
was before his deal.
I know, but just hear me out. That's why in the pros, I'm more inclined to be like, maybe we were just wrong. Maybe like the bounce of a ball can go either way at any
Did you
time.
see one of his bets? My bad. Did you see the one bet?
No.
He had like the Braves minus 3.5 parlayed with like something to do with him, and they got beat like 6-1, and he was the pitcher.
And then there was the guy on the Raptors too.
I don't even know his name.
I don't know
I'll
his
be
name
honest.
either.
He's literally just like a nobody.
Oh, the center. That
and
center
that's
dude?
how they.
It
And
was
that's how they caught
Toronto,
on
not-
to him. Yeah,
Toronto. That's what I said, right?
You said Raptors?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why I thought Bulls when you said Raptors.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm all over the place.
So like these guys, even though it's wrong, they're betting on themselves. Like we saw with Ridley, like we saw with I'm missing someone. The people on the Lions, they weren't betting on themselves. They were betting on something else. But we talked about it. It's like we all of us, the majority of the public wanted sports betting to be legal.
I think it needs to be reversed. I
But
do.
no,
I
but like,
do. I'm a full believer.
Hear me out though. Hear me out.
Bring back bookies and illegal betting.
It's the,
Bring him back.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing as with we all wanted kids in college to be able to be paid.
Yep.
But the thing is what they do is they fight us tooth and nail on these things, and then they allow it, but they allow it in its worst form. So then when the bad things happen, they can be like, "Oh, hey, look, I told you so. We didn't want gambling in games because this could happen. Oh, wait, look, I told you so. We didn't want to pay players because now look at colleges just become free agency." It's like you could have we didn't ask for like the Wild West. You could have implemented these things in way better ways to safeguard this stuff from not happening. With NIL, you could have made it so the players are allowed to make money from advertising, but the schools aren't allowed to middleman. Boom. The schools are not allowed to middleman. Alabama cannot let all their boosters conglomerate. That's the wrong word, but like accrue all this wealth, and then be like, okay, here's $3 million to the best quarterback in the class, like free agency. All you had to do was be the college does not have a hand in it. If some Alabama car dealership wants to give this kid $300,000 to do a commercial, he should be able to make that money.
Yeah.
How did it turn into that Johnny Manziel and Cam Newton should make money off of their likeness and their autographs to these schools are now just straight up paying players to come to school? No one asked for that.
Right.
No, you're right.
But they want it to fail. So when we complain, it's like, well, you guys all asked for this. It's the same thing with gambling. You could have made gambling legal. Look at with weed, for instance, right? Weed is legal now. It's not allowed to be anywhere near alcohol. You're not allowed to sell it to kids under 21. It was very, very regulated to become legalized. Gambling, you're allowed to partner with the NFL and the NBA, and you're allowed to have your own section on SportsCenter. What?
ESPN has a book.
What?
That's what I'm saying, man.
And in New York State, you're not allowed to bet on teams in state. But in most states, you're allowed to bet on teams in your state that are college. You're allowed to bet on – bro, you move the thing from the camera. You're allowed to bet on you're allowed to bet on player props for college kids who aren't making money. Betting on I know I came on here and ranted about Herbert when the only time in his career he didn't throw a touchdown was when FanDuel or whatever gave him the prop.
I was in on it too.
I know I ranted about that, but at the end of the day, if Herbert got caught doing that and the NFL kicked him out of the league, he would lose hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no way Vegas got to him and gave him enough money for him to risk that, in my opinion. But for these college kids, you could $50,000. Your prop is 17.5 points and fucking 90% of the money's on it. Here's $50,000 to miss shots on purpose. Oh, the live bet, like you said, it's the live betting. What's stopping someone who's completely not associated with FanDuel on paper from getting a hold of kids on Auburn and being like, yo, a bunch of money's coming in on the live bet for you because they think you're going to come away from the game, miss these free throws? Like, what's to stop that?
Right.
Not completely saying it happened. It looked fishy to me, so don't come on here and accuse me of just pulling theories out of my ass. But what's to stop it?
There isn't.
They put none of these regulatory, and I like betting on college basketball, so I'm kind of a hypocrite, but you shouldn't be allowed to do it. Like realistically, you should not be allowed to bet on college sports.
I just think that it should go back to being illegal bookies.
No.
Or just like the casinos.
No, I think it's America. At the end of the day, you should be able to do what you want, but there
Dude,
should be regulations
it's
in place.
it's
The
way
NFL
too tough,
should not have a fucking partnership with a gambling agent.
This was I have to read this because this meme it was about Otani, but the way they worded it was to be funny. They said, "Welcome back to SportsCenter, presented by ESPN
I
Bet."
saw this one.
For more on the Otani situation, we go to our FanDuel MLB insider, Jeff Passan, at our DraftKings studio in Los Angeles, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. Jeff, how could something like this happen? Do that to me? That was funny as fuck.
Yeah, I don't get it. And
nobody would ever boycott this shit. It just...
The people, the government will gaslight you into thinking that it was your fault. Like, oh, you guys asked for this. It's like, we asked for a form of this, but you gave us the worst one. And now it will never go back because they make so much money on it.
Yeah, but I just think that it's ruining the product of the sport. It is.
I mean, money ruins everything, man. But
it's legit though. It's
the altar that Americans pray to, but it ruins everything. Okay, college sports are being ruined by money. That's 1,000% fact. That one, I think players should be able to be played, but the free agency thing makes it there's no tie to these players.
These dudes the older coaches are retiring because of the shit.
Yeah,
he literally went to Washington to talk about this shit and address it because I think he was sort of on he kind of tied into what you were saying. It's okay, I'm fine with the players making money off their name and all this, but it's gotten ridiculous because schools, I mean,
are paying them.
They're literally paying them what a professional league would do. So it's.
Bill Self said something similarly. Yeah. It's just we can talk day and night about the problems with it that could have easily been hammered out if they just would have taken it seriously. It's been a 10-year debate. Everything, every negative that comes along with this has came up 100 times when we were debating whether it should be allowed in the first place. While you're having those debates, you should be finding solutions to the problems. You like Saban. You could say whatever you want about Saban. Saban does better at teaching kids how to become professional football players than anyone that we've ever seen.
It's an NFL factory.
Anyone. He turned Levi Wallace and guys that are walk-ons into guys who are now having 5, 6, 7, 8-year careers. Now imagine if Levi Wallace, when he was coming up, could have went to Fresno State and got $20,000. I mean, they're not paying him a ton of money. It's Fresno State. But I'm gonna just go to the easiest place to get a starting job where I can make my 20, 30 grand, and then he doesn't become the pro he needs to be, and now he's missing out on millions in the future. No, like he had to earn his way through Alabama, and he became a decent player who ended up being drafted to an NFL team and plays good now. Like now it's just the path of least resistance. It's Kyle McCord left fucking Ohio State to go Syracuse. Like this shit makes no sense. You can't get any ties to any players, which is a tenet to sports fandom. Is your ties to the team. That's why we are fanatics, because you love Derek Jeter, you love Jim Kelly or Josh Allen. Those are the players that keep your fandom alive. Yeah. So, and when it comes to college football, Harry will talk about Tim Tebow for the rest of his fucking life. But what if NIL was back then and Tim Tebow was like, I just won a national championship and now Alabama wants to pay me $4 million, I'm out. Like, what about these smaller schools? Like, I'm going to bring it back to ASU because that's where I went. We finally get a good player. We finally get a good recruiting class. We build a team. We make a run in the tournament, and then all those guys leave. Should they be able to make money? Yes, but at the end of the day, why do I want to watch? Why do I want to continue to watch Arizona State sports when I know when we finally make it to where we need to be, some big school's just going to hawk our players anyway? St. Peter's, 3 players who are great in the tournament. They win. Where they make it to the Elite 8.
And the coach.
And they just, boom, gone.
All of them are
Buffalo
gone.
makes the tournament 2 years in a row. Boom, gone. It's just, at the end of the day, money ruins everything, man. UCLA, USC going to the fucking Big Ten? Or which one's north? Big 10's north, Big 12 south, whatever.
We get it.
You get the point. ASU is going to be playing fucking Louisiana teams and the think about tournaments. Think about the Pac-12 tournament. Pac-12 tournaments in Las Vegas. Any team in the Pac-12 is within 5 to 6 hours drive to get there. You want to go support your team, you can drive there and make it. Now, if you're a UCLA fan and you want to go to the basketball tournament, it's in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So if you're rich, sure, fly there. But the college kids aren't driving to Minneapolis. Like, it's just everything that when people 10 years ago were like, why is college sports better than the pros? Because there's a more tie to it. I went to that college for 4 years. I had classes with some of the kids who played in the game. I can remember these people who won the national championship for us for the rest of my life. Now it's like, who gives a fuck? Kyle McCord got you to he didn't go to the playoffs, but just he made the playoff, and then now he's the quarterback for Syracuse. It's just,
and it's gonna suck.
And now like the rivalries just aren't together anymore, and it's just dumb. It's all dumb.
And
Let's
even
boycott.
like what Saban was saying too when he was in Washington, like it also plays a hand in like the player like not even just the player development, like
human development,
the human development for the kids. It's like, okay, now they're not just coming here to learn about football and like learn life lessons. First thing in the recruitment meetings is like, okay, why do I want to come to your school? How much am I getting paid? Because George is going to be offering me this. So if you guys aren't going to match it, I'm just going to go to Georgia. I don't even care about the fucking football team.
Yeah, maybe we're overreacting. Like we're still in the infancy of this stuff, but yeah, one thing I will tell you, I'm not overreacting about is the conference realignments. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, why are they doing that?
Money, because so the Big Ten football rules all in college sports. They make all the money. Basketball's a far away second, and then there's everything else. The football aspect is, okay, UCLA, USC, you're going to have games now against Ohio State and Michigan, these programs that will forever draw huge draws.
Right.
Same thing, Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC, I wasn't too against because they still are very close.
Sure.
Still, Texas, Oklahoma are big rivals. You're still right there. You know, like Alabama's not too far from Texas, depending on what part of Texas you're in, I guess. But the money, it's like the football money in the SEC, they get ratings that are close to the NFL, maybe even better. I don't know. But that's what it is. But then you think about all these kids who are swimmers and even basketball. It's like you're fucking everyone else for the sake of football because of the money. And it's just money is important, man, but it shouldn't be the most important thing every fucking time.
No, I don't think it should be that
And when it becomes the
important.
most important thing every time you see things like this, like there's no heart to anything anymore, man. Like,
it literally made the greatest head coach of all time retire, and he could have kept going. But that's what drove him to the deep end.
Even look at the fucking. This is a complete sidetrack, but the Bills thing, the PSLs that they're releasing, it's disgusting. It disgusts me. They're talking the lowest levels. They're talking about is $6,000 for a PSL seat before you even buy a season ticket, and then I get the people who the tickets that everyone's mad about are tickets that we would never afford anyway. It's like the rich people in the club seats, but it's still like $20,000 before you even buy a ticket. Like,
win me a Super Bowl.
It's disgusting.
Why is it that much?
Because all they care about is money. That's all they give a fuck about. Like, we supported this team through 17 years of not making the fucking playoffs, and you're gonna build a stadium with the most public funding of all fucking time, and you're gonna cut out almost 10,000 seats so you can have more suites for rich people, and then you're gonna charge the people who can still afford the seats $6,000 before they even think about buying a ticket.
Well, what do you mean before they buy a ticket?
It makes no sense. It's a scam. We're not the ones who started it, but we're going along with it. It's called a licensing fee. Why the fuck do I need a license? Why do I need a license to buy a seat? You have to pay $6,000. It depends what stadium you're going to, but the low end that they're reporting now is $6,000. The high end they're reporting is $15,000 for the Bills new stadium. So you have to pay. So say your season ticket is $1,500, right?
I'd have to pay $75.
Not the worst deal in the world. Less than $200 a game for a seat, whatever. You have to pay. Let's assume it's on the low end of what they reported. $6,000. No, 8 games.
About 8 games, yeah, right.
$6,000 you have to pay before you can even buy the ticket. Because you can't buy the ticket.
You have to do that every year?
No, it's a one-time fee. But still, people can't afford groceries. Like, who can afford a $6,000 fee?
Who's
it's
going to
be
go to the
football's
stadium?
going to be a fucking vice of the rich, like everything else. We can't go watch a game and have a couple beers and forget about the 45 hours we just worked to hardly be able to afford our house. Nope. Only if you have $6,000 in the bank that you can just throw at a PSL. It's disgusting.
PSL.
It's called a something physical seat licensing fee or something like that.
That's stupid.
I believe the 49ers were the first ones to do it. But like a lot of teams do it now.
Francisco.
Huh?
A lot of people are rich in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, that was my rant for the day.
Stadium's going to be sweet.
Stadium is going to be sweet, but
Can you buy
can't-
regular seats without paying a fee?
yeah, but guess who you're buying them off of? The
Season?
people who paid that fee. They're not going to take a loss. You think if I paid $6,000 for let's $6,000 plus $1,500, I'm $7,500 in the hole for the first season.
I'll never go to a game again.
How much is that per game? I'm not a math guy, but
I won't be going to no games.
I'll get you some more information on this.
am I completely wrong if I just done a ridiculous?
I haven't looked into it.
Because I read it from the Buffalo News, so that's the only reason I chose to speak on it. But
It seems fishy.
But it's not just the Bills.
I just got a text from a very reliable source. It's so funny how you talk about this right now, but there's a season ticket member that's not too happy right now. I'm sure they're feeling the same way you are. But one of the key words that I got in that text was bullshit from the media. So
Okay, maybe the media is bullshitting and you can't even trust the Buffalo News anymore. But it's not just Buffalo. Like other teams do it too. They're not quite as high of a number.
Yeah.
I think any number of it is bullshit. It's
But
a
don't get me
scam.
wrong, it's still going to be expensive. So.
Yeah.
Still going to be expensive. So.
But yeah, March Madness. We'll just go over it real quick and then we'll start talking about some football. There's not a crazy amount of things to talk about. Kentucky sucks. We already talked about it.
Auburn sucks.
Auburn makes me think sports are fixed.
UConn's winning.
I think UConn's going to win it all too. I thought Auburn was the only team that was going to be in their way before the Final Four. But all the number one seeds dominant. Purdue is just
And they all covered the spreads. Like, not that it means anything, but
High spreads, too.
they're big spreads, and they all covered. Except Houston.
Except Houston.
Except Houston.
so
They
Purdue's
were
just
going to, but
They were going to, but they blew it.
Purdue's destroying people. UConn's destroying people. Houston almost lost. Went to OT and won.
But, dude, the way they came
North-
back and won also makes me think games are fixed, bro. Did anyone see how they came back?
I'm gonna be
They
completely
were up
honest. I
like
didn't.
17 or some shit and with 3 minutes left.
Wait, they were up 17.
Yeah, some
Houston
shit like
was,
that.
yeah.
It was some wild number. It might not have been 17. It might have been like 11. But they were up some.
I think it was closer to 17.
That's what I'm pretty sure. I watched the game, dude, and there was 3 minutes left, and somehow they came all the way back. I was watching it with Harry, and I told him, I said, watch. I think they were playing A&M, Texas A&M.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah,
I got the Sweet 16 pulled up.
I believe so.
Talking about Houston, right?
Yeah.
They were playing A&M.
Okay, so at the end they're like missing free throws, and somehow A&M's like stealing the ball. They're like dribbling the ball into A&M's hands and shit. It was fucking nuts.
I've never seen that. I've never seen more people, and not
Do
just
that
in that game,
now, right?
Where
Yeah.
they're dribbling and no one touches the ball and it just goes out of bounds.
Or it goes right to the other team's hands. How is that even a thing? How is that a thing?
I didn't even watch the Houston game. I've never seen it happen more in a tournament in my life.
All right, so boom, right? So like A&M's just coming back. They're down 3 now,
Yeah.
right? They came back like 14 points in 2 minutes, and now they're down 3. There's 8 seconds left on the clock. Okay. Shoot, miss. Houston and A&M go up for the rebound. Of course, it's out on Houston.
Yeah.
1.2 seconds left. Down 3. They just do like this fucking. You didn't see it?
No, I would be honest. I was drunk
They
as hell.
skip past the ball inbounds. This dude's just at the top of the key and caught a bounce pass from the inbound and just drilled the 3. Just drilled the 3. No problem.
What I will say to that is you can't fix a person's ability to make a shot.
But can you fix being outscored by 17 points in 3 minutes when you're the number 1 seed?
That stuff, I don't, unless there was like a lot of free throws, I don't know.
There's a lot of free throws missed.
Yeah.
A lot of free throws
I
missed.
didn't watch the game, so I can't talk about
Dude, it was ridiculous to watch. And I knew he was going to drill it. It seemed part of the game script. There's no way he doesn't make it. They just came back 14 points.
So, like I said, you cannot make a person make a shot. You can make a person miss a shot, but you cannot make a person make a shot. 1.2 seconds left.
Why can't there be magnets?
Oh, stop. All right, now you're getting too far. All right, so what we're left with.
Hey, man.
What we're left with after all that? Sweet 16. Alabama, I think they got the perfect draw of the hat. They picked 2 teams. They played 2 teams that play exactly how they play, and they're better at playing it. I think UNC smokes them.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you can slow them down, you're done.
Alabama every year chokes. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's because of how they play. It's because how they play.
I learned my lesson last year with Brandon Miller in Alabama. I thought them dudes were like dominant. I thought they were like really good.
Yeah.
And then they just get bounced.
Well, they play incredibly fast, and if they don't play against a team that has a defense to take advantage of that, they're going to run them out of the court. And they played Charleston, another team that plays really fast. You just can't keep up with Alabama. UNC though, I think they're going to smoke them. They smoked Michigan State. They've been playing great.
That's another team we should have talked about is Michigan State. Man.
Clemson, Arizona will be the next matchup.
That's another one. Arizona should just, I bet, what's the spread on that game? Like the 13?
I can't see it from here.
I'm
But
gonna go look.
Clemson, Arizona. I think Arizona smokes Clemson. They've just been playing great. They're not going to choke. Illinois, Iowa State, probably going to be the most fun matchup of the next round. San Diego State, UConn. San Diego State just absolutely fucking smokes Yale after they beat Auburn.
Now they're going to get smoked.
Yeah, I know, because Yale just wasn't good. They shouldn't have won that game. Creighton versus Tennessee, another fucking fantastic game.
Was it Thursday?
And then Gonzaga, Purdue.
Like Arizona minus 7.5 versus Clemson. The Clemson should have never
That's a
beat
normal
Baylor.
spread.
Dude, for the Sweet 16, I feel like it
2
should
seed
not
versus
be.
6 seed?
I just don't think that like UConn minus 11. Like,
But UConn's
it's the Sweet 16.
UConn's
though.
a way better team.
But it should be
they're
closer.
playing-
It should be closer things. Like, to me, this is just like, come on.
I feel you. Gonzaga, Purdue both have been annihilating teams, so I'm interested to see what happens there. NC State, the only Cinderella story so far for the tournament, 11 seed going up against Marquette. Marquette almost lost last game, so that one's going to be interesting as well. And then you have Duke versus Houston. Duke absolutely murdered James Madison. I thought James Madison was going to beat him. So yeah, sweet 16.
NC State's the only 11 seed left.
Yeah,
They're
they're
about to
the only
smack
double
Marquette.
digit seed.
They're about to smack Marquette. The spread's 6.
Well, yeah, because Marquette just struggled with Colorado.
Bro, Arizona Clemson is a higher spread, and it's a 2 and a 6 seed.
I don't know.
Think about what I'm telling you.
I feel you. Let's go real quick through the Sweet 16. Everyone give their wins and
Okay.
losses. UNC, Alabama. I'm going to go UNC.
I'll take UNC.
UNC.
Clemson, Arizona. I'm going Arizona.
Arizona. This seems easy.
Yeah. Iowa State, Illinois. I'm going to go Illinois.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
All right, so listen. I hate. There's a kid on Illinois that I hate. His name's Hawkins. To me, he sucks. But that being said, I hate Iowa's team, so I'm gonna go with Illinois.
I need Iowa State to cover though, because I have them in.
I'm lone wolfing.
San Diego State, UConn. I think UConn beats the shit out of San Diego State. Are we all in agreement on that one?
Yeah.
Creighton, Tennessee. I love Tennessee all year, but Creighton in the tournament, man.
Swing me Creighton.
I'm going
Them dudes
Creighton.
impress me, man.
I'll take Tennessee on this one.
Taking Tennessee.
Tennessee is nice.
Lone wolf again.
Yeah, they're
Gonzaga,
nice.
Purdue.
Give me Purdue. They're on like a redemption tour.
Gonzaga's
Bro, they got
really
bounced
good.
as a 1 seed last year.
I know Gonzaga's been really good. I'm gonna take Purdue, but I think it's gonna be the best game of the
Are
next
we gonna
round.
see? Are we gonna see the downfall of Purdue soon? Because I've been kind of like waiting on it.
Really? I think
don't-
they're gonna
'cause,
win
you
it
know,
all.
I feel like they fuck up every year.
I think
Is it gonna happen? I don't know.
I think Edie's on a revenge tour.
All right, I'll roll with it. I'll go Purdue.
I think he's on a revenge
Edie's
tour.
really trying to get up in the lottery, the draft. No one in the NBA cares about him, even
Before
though he's
they-
just won back-to-back Player of the Years.
Before
I'm gonna go Purdue, but it's a really good game, and if Gonzaga wins, I won't be surprised.
No.
They've been
give me
playing
Purdue.
really well.
I'll
They
take Purdue.
annihilated McNeese State. I get it, and then they come through and they beat the shit out of Kansas.
They did.
Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna be. I think Purdue's gonna smack their shit.
Purdue did beat Utah State by almost 40, so
Before they pulled Purdue or Edie,
they were by like.
he already had like 20 and 10 or some shit like that.
No.
Or 30
He
and
had like
20.
and 10 at halftime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. If he had to play the whole game and really try, he
He
probably
would
would
have
50
30
and 30.
yeah, some shit
He was
like that.
He was insane. NC State Marquette, dude. I think this is the end of the road for NC State.
Give me the pack, bro.
You're gonna take them?
I'm taking
go.
them too. That
I don't
spread
know
is
what that
fishy.
dude. I don't
boy.
know what that dude's name is, but he's a dog. I'm gonna roll with him.
DJ
Yeah.
Horn or the big guy?
Big motherfucker.
Burns.
Yeah.
Burns. I
Yeah,
like
give
that
me
guy a
NC.
lot.
Give me NC State.
Fuck. Oh, so Marquette got that all tested against Colorado. I think they were like, oh shit, we need to take this seriously. I'm gonna take Marquette.
Good.
Duke versus Houston. Duke is fucking hot right now. Pause.
Houston's
Don't even
nice
gotta say
though.
Pause for that, bro.
I was talking about myself technically, but
Who do they play?
Houston.
Oh.
They beat the shit out of James Madison, who I think was a really good team.
Yeah.
I kind of knew they were gonna beat them bad.
Yeah, but then again, it's like Houston again. It's like they give everyone a reason to worry about them, and then they come out.
I'm going Duke.
I'm going to go with you. I'm going Duke.
Feeling Duke.
I
Going
think
Hi-
Houston's a better team.
I'm
Duke's
unfortunately
hot.
going Houston, and I think they're gonna beat them by a lot now.
What's the spread on that? You got that?
Houston's got to be favored.
They're
If Duke's
definitely
favored,
favored.
put all your money on Houston. If Duke's favored, put all of your money
Hey,
on
the
Houston.
books will tell you.
Houston -4.
That's a normal spread.
I think Houston's gonna
Check the Iowa State spread for me. I have them in Harry's spread pool.
I also have Iowa State in this spread pool
How?
in the Sweet 16. Oh my God, we're dead.
What is it?
We're done.
What is it?
Toasted.
You got to talk to the mic, bro.
Iowa State -1.5.
That's not that
That's
bad.
terrible.
I need them to win, though. I was hoping.
They're
What do you
dead.
mean? It's a 2 versus a 3 seed. Illinois has been playing really well.
That's a
Illinois
good
about to
spread.
smack their shit.
I hope I need Iowa State to win now, even though I'll look stupid because I picked Illinois. But
You want to change your
I
pick?
like that money that I just ranted about.
You can change your pick.
No, I'm not gonna change it. I think I'm not lucky. I just won 2 rounds. That's enough for me. I can't,
No.
you know. But yeah, so
Hey,
Well,
give me Houston, man.
game start again
H-Town, I
Thursday.
miss you.
The national championships next Monday, or is it the Monday after the Final Four?
Monday after the
Monday after the Final Four.
I'm pretty sure
sounds
it's its
right.
own week, own day.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So
They wouldn't just throw. them right
the
in.
Final Four is all the. So the Final Four will
It'll
be
be like a Friday, and then the
Oh, I don't know why I'm asking. I have it right here. So the Final Four will be Saturday, April 6th, and then the championship will be Monday, April 8th.
Alright.
So the rest of the games will be played Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So the Sweet 16 Elite 8 will be done by the end of this weekend.
Isn't it
Yeah,
crazy
then
how
next
fast it
weekend.
flies by?
Yeah.
Like it just started.
I'm mad as hell. I didn't get to come out and watch a lot because I was extremely sick. It was a bad time to be sick. I'm not doing that.
You have to be close to the mic, bro.
Don't talk to me like you're my father. Okay?
All right, so moving on. Some more draft stuff.
Let's go.
It's all I listen to all day, every day.
Joe
Move the
Milton.
sticks.
It's Move the Sticks, Ringer NFL show, the PFF draft show,
Tank
everything.
Talk, you listen to.
Tank Talk. I
You
was
guys
just
cover a lot of draft stuff.
Oh, we've been in there.
Have you?
Yeah, we've been working with Pro Football Network.
Word.
yeah, they got the
draft
mock
simulator.
thing.
Hey,
That's
any
fire.
mocks you do, I got a link for you.
Well, we're doing we're gonna do. I'll announce it right now. We're gonna do NFL draft party live here at Emerge. Maybe am I allowed to announce the? Da-da-da-da?
What's the da-da-da-da?
I mean, I don't want to say it because if I'm not allowed to say it,
Oh, the new place?
yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
if
no, yeah.
you guys have
that,
already.
yeah,
All right,
that's
all right.
been public. Go
All
ahead.
right, cool. Might be here. Might be the last thing done at the original Emerge Studios, or it might be our first taping at the new one.
Is it what's it,
April
24th?
26th?
Oh, we'll be here.
We'll be here. All
Yeah,
right.
we won't get in there till like May.
All right. I talked to Moreno last week. He said there might be like a setup by then, but it
Oh,
doesn't
he-
matter.
He'll know more than me. I'll be
Either
honest.
way, we're gonna do a draft party. We're gonna do a drinking draft party. We're all going to do our own mock drafts, and we will be friends of the Tank Talk Show and use their website.
Hell yeah.
Plug it real quick.
Pro Football Network mock draft simulator with free trades. You don't got to go to the other fucking stupid ass site and pay for them shits. Just go to Pro Football Network mock draft simulator.
You have your
Any
own
free
link,
trade.
right?
Yeah, we got the link. What's the easy way to do it?
We'll put it in the
'Cause-
description
Yeah, we'll
of
put it in
this
the
video.
description.
And put it in.
Link will be
your-
in the description.
And put it in your Instagram bio.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is.
And then,
At
yeah,
Tank
okay.
Talk _pod.
There you
Links
go.
in bio.
There you go.
So we will all do, using that link, we will all do our own mock draft. I'm going to do a couple more before the actual draft. I did my first last week, but my final one I will do the week before that episode, and that will be the one I also use for this drinking game.
Hell yeah.
We don't have all of the rules set up yet, but basically, if you get a pick right, you get to give a drink. If you get a pick wrong, you have to take a drink. But we're gonna kind of get more into it. It's gonna be regular drinks, like just a sip of a beer. We don't want to get super shit faced.
We don't.
But
Draft's long.
it's a long draft.
3-4
But me
hours.
and Harry were talking about
true.
some ways where, like, if you get like, just because once the draft gets in late, like almost no one's gonna get a right pick. Sometimes, you know what I mean. So we're thinking about if you get the position right after like the top 10 picks, you can give a drink. But if you get the position and the player wrong, instead of just a normal drink, you have to take a shot.
I like it.
So we're gonna hammer that out. But
Literally.
yeah, that's good. But anyway, so for the draft, we will be doing a live stream. That will be our episode that week. Moving on, there's not too many big storylines. We're kind of in the like lull in between the combine and the pro days and the actual
And
draft
March Madness
itself,
is
and
fine.
March Madness is going on. But the big story, not really story, but big rumor is the JJ McCarthy thing. We talked about it a little bit last week, but it's just starting to heat up even more. Basically, coming into draft season, no one really thought he was going to be a first-round pick, and if he was, it was more going to be like a reach pick because the team needs a quarterback. And then it became, he's the definite number 4 quarterback of the bunch. He'll be a mid-round quarterback. Then it was the first 4 players off the board are going to be a quarterback, but he'll definitely be the 4th. And now we are reaching the boiling point of, is he going to get picked over Drake May? Not just Jaden Daniels, but is he going to get picked over Drake May?
I think, didn't this happen last year too with Will Levi?
That happens every year.
Every year.
Certain years it works out better than not. Blake Bortles was the one I point back to all the time because he just randomly shot up out of nowhere and was picked number 1. Had like one good
They said-
NFL year.
Was he number 1? I don't even remember that.
Maybe number, like he was the first quarterback, I believe.
Let me tell you guys something. Every year we see like all these college kids and top draft prospects, and this is a great quarterback class, and I'm sick of feeding into that bullshit.
It all depends on like the
Sick of it.
the situations they go in.
Not number 1 overall, number 1 quarterback.
That's the thing. We can't. I don't know. We know Caleb is gonna be good.
Congratulations, Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
They're doing some shit.
One of the best off seasons I've ever seen. I don't care how bad that Justin Fields trade was. Their off season has
But
been
they did it because they
so good.
get their guy. They're getting their future.
But the past 2 years has been a masterclass. And of course they had to take advantage
No
of the
lie,
dumbass
they're
Panthers,
probably
but-
gonna be nice this year.
Oh, they will.
There's a good chance.
They will.
They're gonna be like Houston. I'm telling you.
They will. Harry would disagree if he was here.
Of course.
So I have to
Of course
throw
he
that
would.
out
Well, they
for
got Keenan
our missing
Allen.
comrade.
Think about
but
their team though. Like even just their offense, they got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore,
Yep.
Cole Kmet,
Caleb, Cole Kmet. Who's their running backs?
Gerald Everett, DeAndre Swift, Roshan Johnson, and Khalil Herbert.
That's like that.
That's not
Them
bad
getting
at all.
Swift is fire.
I'm not Swift's biggest fan, but he can make plays.
He got
They're-
paid, dude.
Their
$8 million a
defense,
year.
their defense is going crazy.
They need depth. They definitely need depth. But
I don't know.
I
I like what they did. They know they're getting Caleb. They're already doing better for somebody that's not on their team yet than the dude that they had for the last 2 years. It's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
They know who they want to be.
yeah,
But
which they never did with
now I'm
Justin
starting to
Fields.
feel like though that Fields was just a filler the whole time, and they knew that.
No,
I
I
don't
don't think
know
so. I just think they weren't.
But they didn't do anything for him.
'Cause
All
they
they got
weren't
was
good.
DJ Moore. But now for Caleb, he gets DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
Sorry
And
about it.
Swift.
Sorry about it, Justin.
sometimes you got. Was Poles the GM the whole time?
No,
No, so that's got to be it. Whoever their GM
But
was
didn't
before.
he draft?
I don't think he
Fields?
drafted him. I don't think he did.
I think he did.
I'll have to look into it. But regardless of even if he was, sometimes you got to learn from your mistakes, and no one's done that better than Chicago. People hate the trade, the Justin Fields trades. Like you basically got less than Mac Jones and Kenny Pickett, and I will say Fields is way
They
better.
shouldn't
Than
have-
I'm gonna tell you why I like it though is because,
no. Poles started last year.
Oh, okay.
Before the season last year.
but it shows confidence
2 years
for
ago, my
Caleb. They just smoked him. I think it was less for the team and more for Caleb. Like
yeah, and for
to give him
Fields.
that confidence
it was a
factor.
win-win.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely.
like yo, we have so much confidence in you being our quarterback. We're just gonna get rid of this dude.
'Cause, I mean, if
Take a third.
I'm
Here.
sure they seen what happened with Bryce Young last year. I mean, if they didn't make those moves, it could have been another Bryce Young situation. You just don't want to throw him out to the Wolves and make him look like shit and be like, okay, kind of wasting away your early years under your cheap contract right now. I know they're gonna get wasted away, but we're gonna give it time. They're not waiting at all.
No.
As soon as
They
you
got
come in,
him.
we're gonna take care of you.
They're doing basically what they did for what Houston did for C.J. Stroud, man.
If you just
They
look
got
at
him a team.
you look at who the Bears were at the end of the season 2 years ago, like coming into the draft last year, and even the year before that. Their offensive line shambles. They had no receivers. They had Montgomery, but he was always hurt. And
Now
then
they did that dumb shit though. They gave away Will Anderson, or not Will Anderson. Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. But listen. I mean, they knew they were getting a new quarterback, and as good as Jalen Carter was, and as much as I criticized that move at the point, and I still think it might not be the right decision. Darnell Wright does more for Caleb Williams than Jalen Carter would. And until you have that elite quarterback, we say it all the time, you're not a Super Bowl contender. So it's like,
I guess.
You
But
probably
he
could have
was
found a right
probably-
tackle
He was probably
somewhere
the
else.
best player in the draft.
that's true. But at the end of the day, you look at what that offensive was. That
I
offense was. That offensive line was not great, but it was good last year. When 2-3 years ago, it was one of the worst in the league. The receiving room, one of the worst in the league, now has DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett. The running back room's good. They transformed that offense to be a quarterback's best friend.
Yeah, I can dig
they
it.
built the team perfectly to put a new quarterback into that system. And when you look at it, it's like, sure, they only got a 6th-round pick for Fields, but at the end of the day, who cares?
It was a
Everything else.
sixth?
It was like a pick swap. It was like 30. It was like maybe a 5th round. They gave away a 6th-round pick too, and it's like 30 spot. It basically was like a 30-spot jump in the draft for
Sixth
Fields.
round for next year.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
they got. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't matter because it's almost.
No,
it's
you get your
insignificant.
guy, and
Yeah.
you do that without even because let's say they.
I think it was a steal for Pittsburgh
It was
too.
still for both
100%.
teams. It was just
Yeah.
like you get rid of Fields because you don't want him behind Caleb the whole time.
exactly.
Pittsburgh has a quarterback that could learn behind Russ, and then
I don't know
no-
if I'd want any of my quarterbacks to learn behind Russ.
That's his idol. He said.
Yeah, I mean,
even when he came out, it was Russ and someone else that he modeled his game after.
he did.
Fields, yeah.
He modeled after
Cam-
Russ.
He said at first.
Early Russ was a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I
Not
know.
not early Russ, middle Russ. Early Russ was okay. Middle Russ was very good.
I think he's in a good fit for his style though. I think he'll be alright in Pittsburgh.
I think he'll need to learn to take what's given. He needs to show that he can process a defense.
With who?
Because Justin Fields.
I was
Are you
talking
talking
about
about Russ?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean it's good. It's like you get it out quick. They need receivers, but get it out quick. Don't turn the ball over. Let the defense win the games for you.
It's a perfect situation for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Caleb going number 1, going to a great situation. Number 2 should be, in my opinion, just Drake
Whose
May.
pick is it?
It's Washington.
Yeah.
Who so far Washington has
They'll
fumbled.
probably fumble that shit.
They fumbled what could have been an amazing.
They're probably gonna go Marv.
Yo, you imagine that shit.
What could have been an amazing offseason for them. You thought they could have had an OC from the OC from Denver and
Didn't
Denver,
they fire
Detroit.
their coach?
Yeah, they did,
Yeah.
which was good. Ron Rivera sucks.
Yeah, he
But
does.
they could have hired the OC from Detroit or Houston, they thought, and they failed on both, so they had to settle for Dan Quinn. Loss. They had a ton of money. They signed fucking Austin Eckler and like some role players. They didn't land any big fish, in my opinion. Loss.
They're going
and
right
now,
Jeremy
if,
Chin?
and now if they Jeremy Chin, I actually wanted the Bills to get, so I won't hate on that move. But now if they cap this offseason that could have been so amazing for them, if they cap it off by drafting J.J. McCarthy over Drake May,
It's not happening, bro.
it's got to be lying season. It's got to be.
We've been in lines. Hey, but it's just heating up. It's just heating up now.
But we've seen it happen before. Like, we've seen these guys. Like, Trubisky was one of them, where he just shoots up above. Like, why are you drafting? No one knew Mahomes was going to be this, but, like, why are you drafting him above Watson, who's, like, playing at a high level, producing, like, so much, such a better prospect? Because we just see it all the time. And I don't think, I agree with you. I do not think that Drake May, I think the conversation is going to be Jalen Daniels more. But
I'd like
Come
to see
on,
him
man.
go there.
everything that you can say good about J.J. McCarthy, you can say
Daniels
better
is
about
nice.
Drake May. Not McDaniels, Daniels.
That's
I
what
was-
I said. I said
That's your
Mc-
guy.
I think I
That's your
might
guy.
have.
That's
Did
your
I say McDaniels? Huh?
That's your guy too. You got to get this right.
Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
No, he's not my guy.
I think
Arizona. I thought this whole thing was.
No, I see.
You
No,
think he's better than McCarthy. Hey, look at you. He's already jumping up your board, too.
he,
He's falling right
He's
in.
falling for
He's
it.
falling right in with it. Talking about hope they know, but he's doing it.
listen.
That's funny as
I think outside of Caleb Williams and Drake May, I don't think anyone's a complete prospect in this draft at the quarterback position.
Milrow or Milton.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
don't know why I keep saying Milrow.
Because the Alabama guy. I think you have to. Caleb Drake May 1-2. You have to do it. I mean, just all the tools. You just have to do it. But Daniels, man, Daniels.
But Penix is nice.
Yeah, but his pro style. His delivery is very slow. He's already older. He's already had multiple injuries.
He could fucking sling it though.
He can throw the ball in the right system. I think he'd be very good. He can throw. He probably has the
tall
best
is he?
deep. He has the deep ball in the best deep ball in the draft.
Is anyone Bryce Young size?
Daniels is just as skinny, man.
But he's-
That's
but
see,
he's
that's what I'm.
tall.
Daniels is definitely the more talented of the two, but damn, man. I mean, you look at players who came out.
But
Me
you
and
can
Harry
put
talked.
that shit on.
Lamar, he was.
The-
Daniels was like the same size as Lamar when he got drafted.
No way. You'd
Promise
have
you.
to show me because there's no. I remember watching Lamar play in truck dudes and
Lamar was little.
short. He was that skinny.
Yeah.
No,
I'm pulling it up right now because I remember we were talking about this before.
I mean, I'll admit to being wrong. But
You'll look
when
bad. You'll look bad if they were the same size.
If they, I will be very surprised. Jalen Daniels, I watched him his first 3 years at ASU. He's a string bean, bro.
He played for ASU
Yeah, he transferred.
to where LSU.
Yeah, we could have had one of the,
That's
we
where
could have had a
Neighbors is
play. We
coming
could have
out
had a
of?
playoff team.
I'm
telling
about to
you, we
take
had
Neighbors. I think number one.
we had Daniels throwing the ball to Johnny Wilson and Ricky Pearsall. We had a 4-star tight end. I don't know what he's done since he's left us. So we had a great offensive line. We had a squad before Herm Edwards fucked it up, and Antonio Pierce,
Antonio Pierce is now
the coach of the Raiders.
and then they traded away. He told Josh, "Yo, it's a cold world." He told Josh Jacobs, he said, "You're the pinnacle of our offense."
He didn't trade him. Did they? Was it a trade? Oh, it was
He
a
went to
trade.
the
That was a trade.
Packers.
I thought it was a free agent. No, it was free agency. I thought.
Nah, I think they traded him.
No, I think it was free agency.
Check it. Pretty sure they traded him.
What are you looking up over there, Tank?
I'm just looking to measurables.
No, the Packers just signed him. 4 years, $48 million.
He's gonna be nice there. He's at the top of my draft board. I mean,
Fantasy draft.
yeah.
There's a lot of guys this year. I think
2 years ago, I was huge on him. You seen what he did?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
But
I
he
think
didn't- he
this
didn't
year
get-
that could go crazy.
He didn't touch the ball a lot last year. Like he did, but he didn't. You know.
I gotta see this Lamar Jackson thing.
Jaden Daniels right now, from where I'm seeing on Google, 6'4", 210. Lamar Jackson, 2018, when he's measured for the combine, 6'2", 1 quarter and 2:16.
So what was Jaden Daniels?
2:10.
So 6 pounds heavier, 2 inches shorter. It's not a huge difference, but
The 2 inches shorter is kind of crazy.
I don't mind that. As long as you're over 6, I think as long as you're 6'1", 6'2",
As long as you're
I
not
think.
5'8".
As long as you're not
5'8",
5'0",
180.
Yeah, as long as you're not as you're not 5'9", 5'10", I don't really mind the height.
Yo, my
thing.
son bro's
That's
young,
really
man.
he was that small because I always remember Lamar like being like
Shout out the Panthers, man.
big.
They need a
he's
shout
little.
out.
I don't, man. I'm sorry. I know. But that was also the weight that like Jane Daniels put on weight to go to the combine because he knew that was his weakness. I probably.
Well, I don't even think.
Oh, he wasn't even at the combine.
No, it didn't even
Yeah.
come out. We're gonna find out on his pro. I think his pro day's this week,
Listen,
so we're gonna find out.
Listen,
we have
at
to
the
give
end
a
of the
shout out
day-
to the Panthers, man.
For what?
for being the worst team in the
They just
fucking
need
league.
one. Somebody got to shout them out.
Just to make him feel good.
They need something, man. Bro,
They've been
they've been
they're,
thieved.
they're making up for what they did last year though. They signed a couple guards.
What
They
they-
got
what they do?
Deontay Johnson. They're getting them receivers and
They're
protection.
trying.
They're
Nice.
trying. It's not the best, but they're trying.
They're done. They're done
They
for the
suck.
next 10 years.
Yeah, I agree. They suck.
They set
Ew.
themselves back 10 years off of one trade.
And
That's crazy.
And it's not even the player; it's the trade.
It's
In
just the
one full
trade.
swoop, they ruined their next 5-6 years and also gave the Bears like a straight path to Super Bowl contention.
Yeah.
Like,
Basically.
obviously, we have to see what Caleb does.
The
but
owner-
the
owner-
path is there.
The owner definitely paid the other owner. Like, yo, listen, I'll give you $1 billion.
No,
Make
David
this
Tepper's
trade.
like one of the richest
David Tepper,
owners.
he's
I'm just talking
his
shit.
chum changed to him.
I'm just
Yeah.
talking. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just talking shit. But, man, they need a shout out, man.
Carolina, hang in there.
Yeah, that's all.
End of the day, Jaden
We
McDaniels.
should make them like a Super
He
Bowl
did it- he
trophy,
did it
a
again.
makeshift Super Bowl trophy, and send
Did I
it
say
to them.
McDaniels? Yeah? Keep thinking of Josh, dude. End of the day, Jaden McDaniels.
You almost said it again.
I would take him over McCarthy because I think his ceiling is higher.
I think it was easy for. I'm gonna tell you something. I think McCarthy's kind of like a Mac Jones.
No,
I
he's
think.
way better than Mac
Nah,
Jones.
I mean, you could say that. Mac
he's got
Jones
way
was
better
nice,
arm. He's got way better arm talent.
and Mac
than
Jones had a
Jones.
good arm in
No, he didn't.
college.
He sucks.
Now, but I think that they're similar players, and it's and I think that because of how well Michigan ran the ball, is what makes McCarthy.
He didn't have to do a lot.
Yeah, it makes it. Well, it opens up. So when he's throwing the ball, it's easier because they're more worried about Corum
Kind of
and
like
fucking.
Brock Purdy, right?
Well, not really, because Brock Purdy will make.
I just
It was a bad comparison.
I was
though.
just fucking
So-
with you.
yeah,
it
but
wasn't.
It
It
was
wasn't
a terrible joke.
It wasn't a true.
It was a terrible.
Brock Purdy has the game opened up for him because he has such a good team, and that's what you're saying about McCarthy.
But it's different.
I don't think they play this, even though I mean, I could see Brock Purdy. I could see JJ McCarthy and Brock Purdy being similar.
But he
similar
can't be
players.
similar to Mac Jones.
No, I think Purdy's way better than Mac Jones.
I don't. I think that McCarthy is just being way too overrated because he played with Michigan, and
I think he's being underrated because he played with Michigan.
I think he's
'Cause
being
they
overrated.
they never used him to the fullest of his abilities because they didn't need
the
to.
Chargers are going to draft him
Why would they do that?
because Harbaugh.
That's way worse than my joke.
Hey Herbert, we just paid you, but sorry.
Herbert
buddy.
don't deserve to be paid.
Hey man,
At
You-
the end
you
of
like
the day,
Herbert?
he's cool.
He
That's
fucking
just
sucks.
how the market works, man.
That dude is Jameson Winston
Tua about to get
2.0.
paid like crazy.
You don't like that joke either?
no. At the end of the day, Jaden Daniels, higher ceiling, doesn't throw the ball over the middle a lot, doesn't go through his reads.
Who?
It's Jaden Daniels. Takes off to run
He
way
can run though.
He can run, but he takes off to run way too quickly, and he's skinnier than
So you
Lamar
think he's
was.
like you
He-
think
he
he's more
cannot-
like Malik? What's his name? Malik Davis?
Oh, absolutely not. Malik Willis?
Willis, yeah.
No, he's better than
What did I
Willis.
say,
That
Davis?
guy sucks.
Davis.
No,
He was supposed to be nice though.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he
No,
was.
he wasn't. He was athletic, and that was it. Jaden Daniels is going to be he. I just feel like the best. I said Daniels.
The way you just went off on me.
his best asset because you keep stopping me from trying to say what I'm trying to say.
He's been trying to get to this for like,
Yeah.
like
Alright, go
15
ahead.
minutes.
Jaden Daniels' best asset right now is his legs, but he can't do like what when Josh Allen and Lamar kind of were bad at throwing the ball. They were playmakers with their legs, and so was Jaden Daniels. But Jaden Daniels is if he gets hit the way that Josh Allen was getting hit in his rookie year, I feel like he's gonna die.
What
Like,
about Tank Dell? He get hit hard.
and he got hurt in his first year, and he's not a
But he was on
quarterback.
some shit though.
Tank
That
Dell can
mouth
catch a
sucked.
ball. Tank Dell can catch a ball and try to make someone miss and not get hit dead on. Like Jaden Daniels is going to. He can't do what. He can't rely on his best asset
You think
in the
he-
NFL
So,
consistently.
Who do you
in
think
my opinion,
Washington is going to draft?
Drake May. They have to. They have to, man. If they draft JJ McCarthy,
I just don't see how J.J. McCarthy jumped everybody else.
because he has good arm talent. He's very young. He's at least shown that he knows how to manage game manager.
Yeah.
Shout out Cam Newton, a winning program. His advanced analytics when you talk about throwing the ball over the middle, which is what a lot of NFL teams look at because you have to be able to make all the throws. You can't. Jaden Daniels bails himself out from not being able to make NFL throws a lot in the next. So the question is, can he learn to not do that at the next level? Which we've seen QB coaching is so much better now that possibly he can, which I would personally take the risk on him. Because if you can get a coach to unlock that in him, his ceiling is way higher than McCarthy's, in my opinion. But McCarthy, on third down, he doesn't throwing under pressure, throwing on third down when he has to throw the ball more than 6 yards in the air. These stats that kind of sound like you're cherry picking, but that you really need. When you're on 3rd and 7, you don't want some guy who's going to throw a dump off and hope that the running back gets it. J.J. McCarthy excels in those areas. He can make every single throw. He's been, even though he did kind of lean on a really good team, was able to manage a perfect championship team. He has winning qualities. He can make all the throws, and that's why a lot of people are comparing him to Zach Wilson, which I think is a dumb comparison because, yes, that's how Zach Wilson moved up the boards. This video that we've just seen of J.J. McCarthy throwing off platform and doing all these things when it's just glorified catch. But Zach Wilson did not show that he could produce or win games. J.J. McCarthy did, and the fact that he can also make those throws, hopefully in game time as well,
So you think he's going to
makes
go
him
number 2?
enticing. I think there's a possibility because
And they won a
Washington's that
champion.
dumb.
Didn't Michigan won, right?
Michigan did win. So, in my opinion, I wouldn't even think twice over May, but I think there is a conversation between him and Daniels. I mean, you got to be able to throw the ball over the middle.
What about
you have
Penix
to be
and
able to
Bo
protect
Nix?
yourself. They're done. I'm not done, but they're like second.
Jeez,
They're second round guys. They're done for the first round.
Why?
They're already 23. Michael Penix has so many injuries. It took Bo Nix how many years to actually perform well? So you have the question is not only is he old, but did he only perform well because the system was tailored to him? Like McCarthy, what does Bo Nix do better
quarterback.
than JJ McCarthy? And also he's 2 or 3 years older than JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I get
so
it.
I think McCarthy is far and beyond those
So you
guys.
think those are the top 4? Daniels,
Top 5.
Caleb.
I think it goes. Like, we're talking about tiers.
Yeah.
Williams, tier 1. Gat, May, another Gat, Daniels, McCarthy, big Gat,
Nick's Penix.
Nick's Penix. I think Penix in the right
What
system
about
could be
Milton?
really good. Milton's not in. He is not.
You don't fuck with
He's
me.
not a factor.
He's nice.
Milton is not a factor.
He's nice.
Milton will be like at
He will
cookouts
throw the
showing
ball.
how far he could throw the ball and impressing people. For
He
the
will
rest of his
definitely
life.
get picked as a backup.
He'll get
somewhere.
picked as a backup. He'll have a couple years in the league. Maybe play a couple years in the USFL.
He
or
might be as good as
UFL
A-Rich.
now.
Jeez.
And
think
then
he's as good
I'm
as
not
A-Rich?
hating, man. That's pretty cool.
As A-Rich? No.
A-Rich is nice.
He's not as good as A-Rich, or he would
I
be a
know
top
that.
10
No
pick.
shit, dude. I'm just kidding.
He's just working you up, brother.
But A-Rich is a good reason why
Hey,
you
yo.
might not want to draft Daniels. A-Rich is way bigger than Daniels and got hurt 3 times in 4 games playing
Yeah,
a similar way of ball.
A lot of times he got hurt though was
And
just
he's a-
like
yeah, that shit
moseying
happens.
around.
I'm not.
He's,
I
you
think
know,
Richardson will be able to deal with it, but
Hell yeah.
I think Richardson's gonna be
very good.
very good.
I agree.
I can't wait, bro.
But with
I want to see a
Daniels,
full year with him. Did you guys get rid of your coach? Like, is it the same coach?
yeah, Steichen,
dude.
from last year, he was so
Last
Steichen
year
well.
was his first year.
Yeah.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
almost made the playoffs with
You
Gardner
guys
Minshew.
kept, and you
He's
guys kept
cerebral.
Pittman.
Kept Pittman.
Yeah, he's back. Everyone is back.
JT's back.
Everyone is back.
Zach Moss ain't
Everyone's
back.
paid except for Zach Moss and Gardner.
You guys are gonna miss Zach Moss.
Now listen, so we
I
got
don't think so.
He
We
was
got-
nice.
He was nice, but JT's fully healthy now.
Evan Hall. He got hurt week 1, but he's
You think he's gonna be nice?
I seen him because he was supposed to play that week 1 when we took the trip down there. Bro, he's fucking just as big as JT. Play like his movements and everything is just like him.
I hope
He
so.
could
I
be a
got
guy.
him in Steve's league.
I think JT is just 3 down back over there.
This
He's
was-
healthy now.
Yeah.
They're like the hopefully all the bad blood is in the past.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yo.
I mean, I don't have JT anywhere in fantasy, so I'm not like rooting for it. But
Money fixes a lot. And he
he's
got-
very good. and
He's good.
he's now
Those are gonna be
healthy.
nice.
I can't wait, bro.
Him and A-Rich is going to be filthy. We
I
didn't
don't-
get
I
to
don't-
see that,
i-
did we?
i- If nah,
Not healthy.
not even one full game.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But like, if they get and stay healthy, good luck out there defending that shit.
Who's in your division?
Tennessee,
Tennessee,
Jaguars,
Houston.
and Houston.
Damn, they,
Such a bad division going into last year, and now we're looking at it, and it's like that's a
That-
fucking.
It's gonna
That's
be
a,
electric.
that's a
It's gonna
ringer.
be electric.
The AFC is just
Wow.
so much better than the NFC.
Look at that.
Like
Wow.
that would be the toughest division in the NFC, and it's probably the third toughest division in the AFC.
what's the first one?
The North for sure.
Then what?
I would say the East.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think Baltimore's.
that's North. They're the number
and
one.
then the Chiefs.
No.
Yeah,
What?
Chargers.
Chiefs
Chiefs.
walk-
He has
Chiefs
2
walked
games
it
against Jared Stidham. He's got no, dude. The Raider. He's got 2 right now. Something can happen in the draft, but right now he's playing 4 games against Aiden O'Connell and Jared Stidham, and then he's playing against the Chargers, who have the 6th pick in the draft, who I think will be better. But come on, that division.
I don't see how they can be better though.
They
Let's see.
can be. They're going to
Let's
be
see what
better,
they're gonna do.
but
Let's-
they're not going to be better
let's
than
talk about
the
this real
East. Let's talk
Can we
about the
this?
East.
Let's talk about this. They got rid of Eckler.
You gotta talk to Mike, my guy.
They got rid of Eckler. They got rid of Mike Williams.
They got rid of Keenan.
They got rid of Keenan Allen. That's crazy.
Now he's like, "There's no way what I said is true."
Shit.
Wow.
Then you got Vegas.
I was wrong.
So let's talk about the East. You got
Dolphins.
assuming Aaron Rodgers is healthy, they just signed 2 tackles, so their offensive line is fixed. They got a top 10 pick in the draft. They got Garrett Wilson. The receivers kind of suck. Brees Hall, who's phenomenal, and now a full year removed from the ACL. We already know their
He looked
defense.
like an android at the end of the year
Yeah,
last year.
so good. We already know their defense is really good. You got the Bills, who won the division the past 4 years in a row. 4 or 5?
4.
4.
We're gonna be better.
You
this
got
year,
the
too, I'm
Dolphins, who
assuming.
made the playoffs last year, are going to suck in December, but the Dolphins did get a lot worse. So,
No, they got better.
no, they didn't. They lost Wilkins,
They
their
lost
best
a
defensive
lot.
player. They lost Xavier Howard, who I get is not who he was a couple years ago, but
they
still
picked
good.
up Poyer. That was good.
You know how much they paid him?
How much?
Like $3 million, because he's done. He's dead. I'm sorry, Poyer. I hope you do great in every other game other than you play us, but he's dead. No one wanted him, obviously. That's
We
why he
didn't
signed
even
for
want
$3
him.
million.
What do you think of Shaq Barrett?
That was a good pickup. But the thing is you're still at a net loss. When you lose Wilkins, you lose Howard.
Yeah, it's a big
You're at a net loss. I mean, they'll be able to rush the quarterback for sure. The Shaq Barrett, what's his name's coming back, Jaden Phillips and Bradley Chubb. They'll be able to rush the quarterback. But what are you doing up the middle? Who are you stopping from running the ball?
We'll
Who are you
see.
stopping from passing? Who's their corner?
They got
Still got
James
Holland.
Bradbury, right?
Holland's
oh, no,
a
he's on
safety, right?
Safety.
Wait,
No, they
Bradbury's
got
on
the
the
Eagles. He's
yeah.
gonna get cut though. So they have Ramsey, who passed his
Ramsey.
prime.
Yes.
They got Bullard,
Trey White.
cool. No, I think Trey White's coming back to Buffalo.
How?
There's word.
They said that he might come back because no one wants him. So why not stay with the place that you're familiar with and rehab instead of going to some new team and having to learn a new system? I hope so. I hope like he immaculately.
I tell you
want-
what, for the morale sake,
I think it's
they need him back.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I hope that we go corner or safety in the first round. I think this year.
I want no. You got to go wide receiver.
You want a little tidbit? Because they had Brandon Bean on the Pat McAfee show today,
Did they?
and every guest that they had, they were just peppering them, trying to get them to like give up their picks or whatever. And so they kept asking him like, where was he at, what pro days he went to, and everything, just to try to put the pieces together.
Tell me LSU.
And he said he liked some guys from Texas, but he said he did not go to the Texas pro day. He went to the Alabama pro day instead because it was on the same day and at the same time. So let's think of some prospects for Alabama.
He's not going receiver.
I mean,
Burton's not a number around.
They-
Or no, Burton
yo.
plays for Georgia now or Alabama?
Alabama.
He moved.
But,
yeah, he moved.
but they brought up Kool-Aid McKinstry, and he just was like,
I kind of want him, man.
I wouldn't.
Dude, we signed Curtis Samuel. We got Diggs. We got Kincaid. We got Knox.
I just want someone that Josh Allen could say run as fast as you can.
maybe he's in the second round.
Yeah, but we could get a fast receiver in the second round. I want.
But
Dude,
it's not just
the
about being
biggest
fast,
thing
it's
that
about
we're
knowing how to
lacking-
play football and being a playmaker.
The biggest thing the Bills is lacking is our
is
corners.
a playmaker on when they shut down Diggs.
I
When they shut
think-
down Diggs, we're out here running fucking weird bubble screens because no one can get open.
I don't know. I think Curtis Samuel, man, was a
Curtis
very.
Samuel has never had over 1,000 yards. He's been in the league. I
think-
love him. I
I
love the
think-
signing.
I
He's
think
been in the league
he's-
for 6 years. He's
I-
never had 1,000 yards.
I
I
think
thought he
that-
had one in Carolina, no?
No, he had like 900. He came close.
I think he was a
Okay.
very good
I think he's
sneaky
very good.
pickup.
I agree.
It upgraded our wide receiver room.
I agree. But you need just
Who's your guy? Who's your guy?
Brian Thomas Jr.
He's
not
not
gonna
going to
be
get
available.
there.
Trade up. Do it. That's what we need. Listen, McDermott has shown that he has been able to piece together that cornerback room and get by. And there's corners in the second round too. Corners not just as deep, but is also very deep this year. The receivers, we talked about this last time. After
If we're
Brian
not moving
Thomas,
up, I don't want to reach on somebody. I would rather.
I agree.
I would rather get Kool-Aid. I would rather
I will agree
get,
with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I want
If
the
we
best
cannot
possible
move up-
player.
If we cannot move up and get Brian Thomas and we got Kool-Aid, I wouldn't be mad at it. We do need a cornerback, and I think that would be dope having
I still
Douglas and Kool-Aid.
don't get me wrong. I still want a receiver, man, but I just think that the dude that we can get at what are we 27,
28.
28 is gonna be there.
You're gonna have to trade up.
Maybe in the second round, but that's so much easier to move up in the second round than it is the first round.
Brian Thomas will be gone by 20.
I mean, they shown Bean even said it today. He goes, I'm not afraid to trade up in the first round.
We know
for
he's
like a
not.
guy.
Yeah, we know he's not.
If he moves up and goes and gets one of them guys, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Swing it, but I don't want to reach and get like, I don't know that worthy dude.
I
like,
don't want where they
Oh,
are.
no
like,
shot.
no.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he'll just be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brian Thomas, I'm going to say it until I'm fucking blue in the face. I think,
Is that,
obviously,
he played in LSU.
yeah, obviously the
I like
top
LSU
three
receivers.
guys.
They're my favorite.
Your favorite?
Yeah, I like them dudes that always come out of there. They produce really good receivers.
They do.
And obviously the top three guys we have zero shot at, but so it's Brian Thomas, man. Just go up. The what can work well for the Bills is after those three teams in the top 10 pick a receiver. A lot of teams can use
what's
one, but
that
they
other
have
dude
bigger.
from
The
Washington?
only teams I'm worried about are McMillan's going to be like a good third or fourth round pick.
I wouldn't mind scooping him later then.
But we need a legit guy. We need someone to replace Diggs. We don't just need someone to help our receiver room.
I get
we
it.
need someone who's going to take Josh Allen to the next level. That when we're in the playoffs, defenses need to pick and choose what they want to stop. Because every year now we get to the playoffs, it's like you stop Diggs, you stop the offense. That's just what it is. I mean, Cook had a good game against the Chiefs and he had a good playoff, but like
But we see that
we
the
need-
running that shit don't work.
you can run it. Running needs to be a complement. It cannot be our focus.
Exactly.
We need someone.
I've been saying that forever. Now you want to agree?
No, you
Yeah.
can go back and run the
Let's
tape.
go.
I've
Run it-
always
run
said
the
it was a
tape.
compliment. Just because I said we need to run more does not mean Josh Allen's the focus of our offense. We can't just be like, oh, here's a good guy in the third who ends up being pretty good like Gabe Davis. No, we need a fucking game changer. We need someone who can develop into a true wide receiver one, someone who this year is going to walk in and help Diggs. And when we get to the playoffs, it's like, do we cover the top and try to stop Brian Thomas, or do we stop Diggs? Like, we need that. Like, we
might as well move up.
can
to pick
piece
6 or
together the
7.
cornerback room. We
Get
can
Nick-
draft a cornerback in the second and third round.
That's what we need. We
We
need
got
to do.
Bedford in the 6th round.
We need to give up a couple of firsts and just go get neighbors.
No, we can't. No one. They're not taking it. We need to give up whatever, like a first and a second.
Man, I
move
hope they
up,
do that shit.
get
If
Brian
I was the
Thomas.
GM, I would give a lot up to go get neighbors.
You can't give up too much because you still need to build the rest of your team.
I
We
agree,
still need
but
depth. We need
but
cheap
putting
players.
neighbors on the other side of Diggs,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
swing that.
man can dream, but like
I don't see why it's that far out of reach. 2
because
firsts
he's
for him.
gonna be a top 8 pick.
Yeah, get 2
No-
firsts.
You know how much it doesn't.
Who's
it
gonna
takes-
take
it takes
him?
more than that.
The Chargers.
The Chargers, the Giants.
What pick is the Chargers?
5. That's gonna go Marv Neighbors unless they draft a tackle, which they might because Harbaugh doesn't like to pass the ball.
Yeah, I see him taking the tackle for sure.
I got him taking Neighbors, but
I don't know if neighbors
even
is
if he
there
gets
like pick 10.
if he gets past 5, Giants. The Giants are saying they might pick a quarterback now.
They might not go quarterback. They're gonna go lineman too.
No,
They have no line. Dude, they literally have a guy off of a couch.
they have no receivers. All the receivers are like my size.
Which one would you rather have? Receiver or tackle if you're the Giants?
Receiver. Who have they been throwing the ball to?
Who is protecting their quarterback?
2 very good points. Who is their quarterback?
This dude came out and said Daniel Jones will be our quarterback.
And he's Lion season.
Listen, the most.
Fuck, you think
They
so?
met with McCarthy, bro.
They paid him $40 million.
Shit don't mean
million.
nothing now.
Yeah,
It does mean something because they're wasting a year of that rookie contract by paying legit quarterback money to the room.
Yeah,
Which
I think the way it was structured, though, I think they could get out of it after this year.
this year, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still wasting a year.
Yeah, fuck it.
But I
if you
think
get
it,
the
though.
right guy, who cares?
you see what Denver did?
I think McCarthy should probably sit a year
Man, you
anyway,
see what-
especially if you're going to the Giants with no offensive line or no
Yeah,
wide
you see what
receivers.
Denver did. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
That's what they need to tell Jones. See ya.
No, I think they should let Jones get beat the fuck up for 1 year and just let McCarthy learn. And then next year
That's what you don't do.
No. Then next year when they have a top 5 pick, then they drafted a receiver and then they put the team around McCarthy and then he walks into a better team. Because you can't throw McCarthy on that. You can't throw McCarthy or Daniels behind that line with that receiver.
That's why they're gonna go.
That's why I think they should go wide receiver.
Panthers again.
But
the Giants are fucked. They're probably gonna go safety.
the Giants are second to only the Panthers. The Panthers are the only team in football that have a worse future than the Giants. They're fucked.
I just think the Bills need to just move up into the top 10.
I'm with you. I mean, I don't think they're move up top 10, but top 20. Brian
Top
Thomas.
10 neighbors.
Top 20. Brian Thomas Jr.
Neighbors.
I mean, I hope so.
Oduzne.
I'm just gonna tell you. I'm just trying to.
Oh my God, I'll take Oduzne.
I'm just trying to help you out. I don't want your day to be
Sounds
ruined.
great.
They did say Romo Dudze was the first wide receiver since they started tracking it to have a green on all of his entire route tree. So they stay his success rate on every single route he runs.
He's gonna be that guy.
Success rate. His lowest was a
Where's he gonna go
63%
pick
success
what?
rate. He'll be probably.
Top 10.
It depends what the
Big top
Chargers.
10?
Yeah, it depends.
There's
what the
no way 3 receivers are going.
Dude,
top
the
10.
Chargers, the
It's
Giants.
impossible.
See, I thought that way like weeks ago, and I was like, that shit never happens. But I think
It's impossible.
gonna be one of those different
as
years.
fans, we can dream that shit, but they're gonna.
No.
Somebody's gonna go middle linebacker. Somebody's gonna go
No, not in the
offensive
top
line.
10. You're out of your mind.
I'll
Linebacker.
pull up.
Joe.
I'm gonna bring up whatever this shit's called.
Bring up the mock draft that shows me a linebacker in the first round.
I'm not.
The-
I didn't mean it like I wasn't being specific.
We don't normally see wide receivers go in the top 10 that quickly because the position wasn't as valuable as it is now. Now you're seeing these guys getting paid $30 to $35 million a year, and if you draft a fucking one top 10, you're only paying them $10 to $15 million a year for 4 years. The position is second to only quarterback now
I
in
was gonna
value.
say, it's the new
Hey,
quarterback.
this is what's going on right now. This is the NFL big board.
Okay,
PFF.
don't look at the big board. Look at the mock draft because it goes by team need. Because Brock Bowers is top 5 in the big board. He's probably not going to be a top 10 pick.
All right.
So I'm gonna while you're looking that up, I'm just gonna mention teams that need wide receiver horribly. Patriots.
All right,
They're
this
gonna
Out
go.
of the top 10.
Yeah,
This
they're
is what
gonna
it-
go
let me
quarterback.
tell you
Let me finish and then you can go. Right. So Patriots, they're gonna go quarterback, but they do desperately need a receiver as well. So about a 5% chance they go receiver. Cardinals, if they don't trade back, 1,000% taking Marvin Neighbors. The Chargers, it's about 50-50, but I'm leaning wide receiver because they have no one. Roma Dunze, Giants could go quarterback.
All right.
So what do you put? You're throwing your quarterback into what? They have to go receiver or
win.
tackle.
I win.
I'm just going to go through the top 10. The Titans definitely not going receiver. The Falcons need a number 2. I don't think they're going receiver, but they need it. Bears, probably not. Jets also need a receiver really bad.
This is their mock draft. It goes Caleb Williams, pick
Who
one.
is this? NFL.com?
PFF.
Okay.
Caleb Williams number 1, Drake May number 2, Jaden Daniels number 3 to the Patriots.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals. J.J. McCarthy to the Vikings.
Trade up, right? They have to trade up because they're the 11th
for
pick right
for
now.
11 and
Yeah.
11 and 23 in a 5th round or a 3rd round. Then Malik Neighbors to the Giants, pick 6.
There's
Joe Alt, offensive tackle,
Okay.
to the Titans. Dallas Turner, edge, to the Falcons. And then Oduzne to Dunze, whatever his name is,
To the Bears.
to the Bears. And then
Which would be
the
crazy.
Jets would go OT.
So that's 3 receivers top 10, like we said.
And then OT, and then Brian Thomas is pick 12
That's the earliest
Who's
I've
12
seen
again?
him.
to Denver,
That's
which
the earliest
actually
I've
makes
seen him.
sense.
It does make sense in Denver.
But they don't have a quarterback.
They don't have anything.
I don't know why, but Sean Payton loves Jared Stidham.
I think Brock Bowers goes to Denver if he makes it to Denver. So this one is Daniel Jeremiah, who I think is the best college guy.
Are you going over his third one?
Yeah, this is his third
Because
one.
the third one he chose chaos. He said.
He did choose mostly with the trades in the top 10.
Yeah.
But he has Brian Thomas falling to 23. That's why I'm saying Brian Thomas is attainable for the Bills, where those other guys aren't.
They got
I'm
Worthy
not
going
trading-
to the Eagles.
I'm not trading 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick for a receiver. I will trade a first and a third, or maybe a first and a second. Brian Thomas is attainable. He'll be in between 13 and 25.
Wait, hang on, time out. You said that they were looking at a lot of Texas guys?
Who?
That's what Bean said?
Being, yeah.
He said he sent some guys there, but he was not there physically.
He was at the Alabama Pro Day. So
They
this
got
one-
us taking 80 Mitchell from
Donnie
Texas.
Harry loves A.D. Mitchell. I'm not a big fan. He's got all the physicals, but at
A lot of
college,
people are like 50-50.
he struggled a lot. Him and Keon Coleman, they have the tools, but they just struggled a
And
lot in
Kool-Aid to
college.
The Lions is next.
That makes sense too.
But yeah, J.J. McCarthy. Even we got away from that. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Quick,
Dude, I
quick,
wouldn't
quick.
mind that lad McConkey, dude.
Second round pick, not first.
Well, they got him going to San Fran in the first.
So J.J. McCarthy, I see if
Troy Franklin's
if
with
the
Chiefs.
board falls, Caleb, interchangeable May and Daniels, and Minnesota's not.
So you
able,
have them in the same tier, Jaden Daniels
It's
and.
Oh, we're
definitely-
doing
Man.
tiers now. I thought we were just saying where do we think he's
Well,
gonna
the
go.
top 3 are quarterbacks.
Okay, yeah, go
The
where
top
you
3
think,
picks
and
are
then-
quarterbacks.
So I think if those top 3 guys are picked 1, 2, 3, I think you're gonna see Minnesota try to trade up, get that 4th spot, swap with Arizona, and probably take McCarthy.
See, I don't.
I would go after Arizona though. We know they're not taking a.
Yeah,
So
we
they
know
would try to
that.
pick, maybe like pick 6.
No, because the Giants won't trade out because they're worried that the Giants will take a quarterback. So I would try to trade with the Chargers.
Either one.
Because
Yeah.
the Cardinals won't change. Trade.
They could. They could.
No, they want Marvin.
Bro,
I know
'cause,
they want
yo,
Marv,
listen,
but if
so-
you get an offer you can't refuse, they have a lot of holes on that team. You get 3 first-round picks.
I don't think you can trade Marv.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't think they
No.
can. They got rid of Hollywood. Like
If there's so many receivers, they can get They can go back to 11. If they don't draft receiver, there's a better chance that a
Yo.
Doomsday Neighbors or whatever fall to 11. They could get one of those at 11, and then they have the 23rd pick.
Yeah, but how appealing would this look if you're the Cardinals? So obviously, we're assuming that Minnesota's going to bundle up and trade up
Yeah.
because they acquired that 23. So if you're the Cardinals, there's a chance you could have 11, 23, and 27 in the first round.
They have 27 this year for
They
Houston.
have 27. Yep.
Yeah, and then they
I
probably
would rather have Marvin 27.
I don't know because they're
they
sort
could
of
probably get more than the 2 firsts. I've seen places where it might
that
take a
as well.
third first,
yeah.
like the 2 first this year and the first next year or a second next year.
But I
Yeah.
don't think none of these quarterbacks are worth 3 firsts.
I don't think so either. But if it doesn't matter what we think, it
Sometimes
matters
it's
how
just what it
desperate they
takes,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, but you could just wait and tank another year and
No
get.
one wants to wait though. O'Connell doesn't want to lose his job
They
because he
got
let Kirk
Jefferson,
walk
they got
out. They don't want
Hawkinson.
Jefferson to fucking want to push a trade.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they think McCarthy is good, and I think one place that he can go and succeed year 1 is Minnesota.
I think
They say Kevin O'Connell's the
I'm not gonna lie.
quarterback whisperer. He has he has a fucking crazy room of weapons. I don't know how their O line is, but
I think Minnesota's better off waiting and getting like Penix or Bo Nix.
Which could be a possibility too if
I-
if they're not able to trade up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Penix can walk into the Vikings offense and be good.
And especially those 2 guys too, they don't necessarily have to develop in a way because, like we mentioned, they're sort of older, which could be the age. That's where it's a benefit sometimes, depending on the system.
yeah.
It's not like they're going to some shitty team. Like that, it could be like a scenario just like Chicago, but they're Minnesota set up to ready to go now.
That's a fact. Who do they get as running back again? I forgot.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Yeah, I think
Their offensive line though, I think is pretty bad.
I don't think Vikings will move up. There's no reason to do that. I think Penix I think they'll go Penix.
I think out of all the teams that could move up, it's going
It'd
to
be
be the
them.
Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
the
could just see
Broncos
them taking
will.
them.
Maybe the Raiders. I'd like the Antonio Pierce is really good friends with Jaden Daniels.
He said he liked McCarthy too.
Did he?
Who
So
did?
maybe the Raiders move up.
Pierce.
Oh.
Raiders.
But the thing is if McCarthy gets past, one of those teams has to trade up.
McCarthy
or
would be good on the Raiders, honestly.
one of those teams has
Who's
to
their
trade
running
up.
back? Zamir White?
Yep.
Didn't they not sign someone?
Nope.
But what I'm saying is, if one of those teams has to trade up, or the Vikings are just going to get McCarthy anyway at 11, because
could.
after the Giants, there's not a team that needs a quarterback.
Denver's 12.
Denver, it goes. They literally in a row. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's
here you
11,
go.
12,
I think
13.
the Vikings are better off hoping that happens, and if not, go Penix. That's what I think.
If you like your guy, you like your guy. Though you can't just plug and play people if Penix
yeah, but
doesn't fit what they
I don't
wanna
see how
do.
you can give up more assets when you can get a guy.
I think we talked about this last time I was on here. If you're in New England, would you think about trading back? Because obviously
And just keep Brissett.
they were talking they could do that. Also get more assets because they need a whole lot too.
Yeah.
Because that might be another scenario where you throw a rookie quarterback to the Wolves and
You
it
just
looks
ruin
like
his
shit his
confidence,
first
yeah.
year. Yeah, so it's like
They might as well give it to us.
maybe Minnesota trades up to 3 if Drake May slips because they have that connection with him as well with McCown. I guess he was his coach in high school and shit. So I could see Minnesota literally doing any of those options and still benefiting from all scenarios.
They're gonna win no matter what. Like in the draft, Minnesota will win no matter what.
Because let's say they can't trade up and they don't get one of those quarterbacks. Fuck it, we got 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
You know,
And they can easily do exactly what they
I just
need to
don't think
do.
they trade 2 seconds for a first, if not for more ammo to move up. Because it's not like normally when you see someone move up from the second into the first, it's like, okay, this is how the draft's going. Someone on our draft board fell further than we thought, so let's trade up and grab him before someone else can.
Yeah.
So like Bill scenario, say Brian Thomas somehow makes it to 20 or 19, and they're like, oh, the Steelers are going to draft him. They'll trade up. Mid-draft, though. To trade before the draft, it's not like you're trading because someone on your board is there. Because you don't know how it's going to fall out. You might have traded up to get the 23rd pick for
most
no
of these trades
reason.
are gonna happen on the day.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's weird if you're not going to use that first-round pick as an asset to move up even further. It's weird to trade 2 seconds for a first. Because you could have kept those seconds and maybe got the guy.
Who traded 2 seconds for a first?
Minnesota. They traded 2 firsts to Houston for a first.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. My bad. 2 seconds to Houston for a first.
I
so
like
that
that.
makes no sense because if the draft's going on and your guy falls to the second round, now you just wasted 2 picks to get one.
Yeah, I don't like that for pre-draft.
It's people.
Well,
it's
you know
because
what?
They got a
though?
plan.
Well, no, yeah, maybe, but I think a lot of times you got to think that spot will become more expensive during the draft. They got it cheaper.
Yeah,
They
but-
got it cheaper now. They probably wouldn't have been able to get 2 seconds for that first.
That's possible, but just why give up assets?
They
if you
definitely
don't-
got a plan.
Like if the
I think
guy
they
on
want
your board's
ammo.
not there,
They
you
might
just-
want ammo
Yeah, exactly.
just
They-
in case.
Just a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have like a specific like I'm gonna do this with this. I
No.
think they want on the clock Patriots or whoever. Yeah, I'll give you these 2 firsts for that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Shit, all right.
You think that's how it goes? Like,
It's gotta go like
we
that.
want 'em.
You ever watch
Shit,
Draft
alright,
Day?
sound good.
You guys ever watch Draft Day?
Nah, I never got around to that.
Oh, no, you should watch that shit. That's a good ass movie.
They did say how
That's like the Browns, right?
Yeah, it's
They-
good though.
Yeah.
the one thing that people don't take into account of is the importance of relationships. Like you could be the best GM in the world, but that's why the Bills are always getting the Carolina Panthers because they have that trust. It's not like sometimes the best deal doesn't get done because there's a close deal with someone that you're better friends with. Like if you're in a fucking office and some guy I don't know offers me a slightly better trade, I'm gonna be like, well, my relationship with him, he keeps giving and keeps giving. I'm going to take a little bit of a hit and take the lesser deal because I'm friends with him or I have a relationship with him.
Sure.
Which we would never think that way because you're thinking these guys are cutthroat and they're just trying to get as much as they can.
Right.
But
That's the one thing I love about this time of year, but because we try to nitpick and try to figure out what they're thinking, and on the other side of the spectrum, they don't even know what the fuck they're gonna do until the night of. So
Oh, they're
And then we're gonna
scrambling
get-
right now.
we're going to get
100%.
hammered
There's
because all the
papers
shit
going
we're
through
saying.
faxes. They
Yeah.
got people at pro days. They're like, what do we do?
and a lot of them are already preparing for next year too.
I want to be.
And the craziest part is there's teams that
do that shit. That shit seems so fun.
I know.
Yeah.
The craziest part is certain teams legit just don't do any of the work. Like they don't and they do some work but not enough. Like their draft boards aren't full and that's how you end up seeing these guys just draft dudes who don't even fit their system and
Falcons.
I mean the Bills. I mean they drafted Kyrie Elam. He did not fit what the defense we were running.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's like
can't
once
believe
they
that.
traded up for McDuffie, the Bills realistically probably should have tried to trade back. But Elam, be on the lookout for him. We have a new defensive backs coach. Apparently, our old one hated him.
Who do you think's going to call the defensive plays? Because I seen it pop up the other day. They're not sure yet.
Oh yeah,
Is
because
McDermott
Poyer
going
and
to pass
Hyde
it off,
did.
or is Bobby Babbage going to
Oh, you talking
the
about
reins.
on the field or as a coaching staff?
defensive play calling?
I think McDermott's gonna hold that
It's gonna
job.
be McDermott. Let Babbage kind of learn. He's a young guy.
Okay, I guess I get that.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn, dude, fucking switch it up.
It's like Andy Reid and whoever his offensive coordinator is. Like, you're kind of here more to learn and input, but final decision's always gonna be me.
No.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun episode. We didn't think we were gonna have much to talk about, and this is probably one of the longer episodes of the past couple of weeks.
I tried telling you, man.
Yeah.
You didn't even go over the rule changes.
They didn't even go over the rules changes. Yeah. I mean, the kickoff one is weird. I don't even really understand it because
That's-
they want
yeah.
more kickoffs now, even though the whole point was to lower kickoffs in the past.
Yeah, so I guess they're trying to make it worthwhile again. Because I was on the same boat as you. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but essentially it's the same as the XFL kickoff, but they slightly tweaked it. Not much change. I think they added like 2 more personnel guys, and they added like a second tier, like a second line of defense or some shit like that. So essentially, they're moving the kickoff back. I think it's 5 or 10 yards. Obviously, no one can move on the line of defense until the returner has possession of the ball.
Yeah.
And then they go. But they're
Well, it used to be at the kick, right?
Right.
Like, as soon as you kick the ball.
Yeah, but now they have to wait till they actually get the ball. So now they're trying to prevent the touchbacks, but with the way these guys fucking kick nowadays, what the hell is 5 to 10 yards?
That is true. But if you get the ball in the end zone, you're still gonna run because they're like these guys haven't even started taking off yet. The whole point,
exactly that.
Yeah.
I think that was their premise of it.
We'll see how it works.
It's fun. I mean, they were the guy that sort of pitched it in the NFL. I think he, like, special teams coach of the Saints or whatever. He kind of brought it up to Goodell. Like, I think he's been pushing for it for like 2 years now. They're like developing like a plan. He brought this to perspective. Like, if you think of like hockey, like you do your shifts based on matchups depending on who you're playing.
Like your lines.
Yeah, you're gonna probably see that in the kickoffs more. So you're probably gonna see different personnel that you wouldn't normally see every week. Like, he's just had some random example. Like, if the Saints were playing the Dallas Cowboys, they're probably going to put a bigger lineup on the field. But if they're playing a team like the Ravens, they're going to put some smaller guys up against. And they're even pitching, like, maybe, like, if Miami's doing it and it's a crucial part of the game where they need the field advantage or maybe even score, shit, there's a chance you could see Tyreek Hill or, like, A-Chain returning the kick. So I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. And then the big one, well, they also added another challenge. If you get 1 challenge right instead of 2, you get a third.
They made a lot of changes this year.
Yeah, that's another big
They denied
one.
the Eagle shit for the 4th and 20.
Yeah, they denied that.
What was that?
So basically, instead of an onside kick, you get a chance to go for a 4th and
I
20
hate that
play.
shit. No.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They do that in XFL, right?
I don't know if they do that.
I kind of like it though. It's the same thing. But
No.
They're just trying to switch it up.
Play better in the beginning of the game.
I don't like. Did you guys see the did we already talk about the drop tackle?
That was what I was going to next.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
A lot of it's kind of split down the middle. I've seen a lot of players say like, "Hey, like,
What the fuck?
like, what are you taking? You're basically making it not tackle football." And I saw a lot of players be like, "Well, you should know how to tackle better. You shouldn't have to." Because it's not the hip drop that they're banning; it's the hip drop like twist or whatever. I forgot the exact wording. It's like when you drop your hips like on the player's legs. You can drop your hip, but you can't like.
I think it's stupid.
That's what I think too.
I think it's stupid. I think it's just like taking out tackles is kind of like taking out the taunting and shit. I don't know. It's a physical game, and I don't know.
But I guess when
If at what point are we just gonna play with flags?
that's what JJ Watt was saying.
Yeah,
He said, "Bust out the belts and the flags."
yeah,
man."
might as well. I agree with him.
I guess from what you just said, Josh. I guess from that perspective,
It bans from
okay,
using a
but-
swivel technique to tackle an opponent.
So now dudes that have been in the league for 16 years tackling like that, they're gonna have to figure out a way to not do that.
What's the swivel?
It's stupid. It's like a hip toss.
Not even really. It's like
I think it's.
So it was used 230 times last year and resulted in 15
How do we know
players
that?
missing time with
I don't
injuries.
know.
you know what I mean? How do we
I
calculate?
think
that?
if this is the case, and I think they need to cut salaries down and put out flags. These dudes are
flag.
getting paid to be hit like this or get hit
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
yeah. I mean, it's the game. Like, at some point, you just can't take the game away from what it is.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm saying, man. It's a physical game. Could you imagine if they made rules like this in rugby? Them dudes would fucking boycott the sport.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I do think it's a little dumb,
They're
but
getting soft, man. It's the same thing with all the roughing the passer calls. Like some of them shits don't even be roughing the passer.
like I get that. Like there is some things you could prevent from the injuries and everything. Like
Yeah.
perspective, like I definitely agree with like the head-to-head contact and everything. But like this is like, okay, if I can't tackle him low, I can't tackle. Where do you want me to get him?
Yeah.
Because I think what you're going to start seeing is more injuries like the Tyler Higbee one in the playoffs. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember.
His leg just It was a regular tackle because he had to go low because he couldn't go higher than him. Snapped his leg.
I think if they're so worried about player safety, they should make everyone get rid of their turfs then too.
That's what the one player tweeted. I forgot who it was, but he was like, "We don't care about the hip drop tackles. We care about the turf."
Just give me better turf.
No, well, the turf, their ankles, like that's how more
It is high,
non-contact, and you
higher
get
on
more
turf.
non-contact injuries on turf because your cleats aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. Not getting the traction.
Well, that's going to cost them money though. So instead, they'll just change the game.
But it's stupid.
I know.
And the refs already make. We could all agree that there's like calls that are like don't have to be made. This already puts them under more scrutiny. It's like, okay, let's say the Bills AFC Championship game, they need to make this one play first, whatever. Or Bills are on defense. They make a simple tackle.
They call it a hip
drop
drop
tackle, 15-yard automatic first down. Chiefs are in field goal range. They win the game.
I hate it. It's already going to happen. Wow. We already lost this AFC Championship.
I'm still stuck on this twist thing. It's like, so I'm allowed to grab him and like drop my hips, but I can't I guess you can't twist out and you can't twist and fall on someone's leg.
It won't last more than this year. There's no way. The amount of penalties that are going to happen this year is already absurd.
I think it's going to be a record.
They're already calling them. I can already hear the whistles.
You can hear them right now.
Already.
The Bills Chiefs AFC Championship.
It's over. 15-yard penalty. First down.
3 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, shit.
Bucker's going to kick for 57 yards. Right down the middle.
Yeah.
It's over.
I think I see it too.
Then everyone's going to tell us we're cursed.
We are cursed, man.
This rule sucks.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
And it may make the game trash.
It's
very possible.
If you can't fully explain it, don't set it.
Yeah, that's how I.
I want to know who voted on it.
The owners.
All of the owners.
They said it's unanimously, but even like the Schefters, Michael Lombardi's, and everybody, they're talking with the teams. Every person they talk to, they don't like it. So it's like, how is this unanimous? If something ain't right.
Yeah, something's not right.
Something ain't right.
This shit sounds retarded.
Well, they're talking to players and stuff. They're not talking to the owners, I don't think.
No, they're talking to the owners.
It's a bad rule. Dude, it's making the game soft. The game's already becoming soft.
I mean, at some point, I get it.
It's gonna be
flag
football.
I think maybe we're crossing the line here, but a lot of the rules before, it's like you have to protect your talent. You can't lose guys like you were losing with Andrew Luck and like Gronk had to take a couple years off because he had so many concussions. Like you had to get rid of the head tackles. I get that.
For sure.
You have to get rid of like the defensive receiver tackles because it's like you're not even playing good defense. You're just scaring people to the point where they can't go over the middle. It's like you didn't stop them from catching the ball because you can't guard them. You stopped them from catching the ball because you're fucking destroying them as soon as they touch the ball.
But they're taking away a tackle.
But I know. But people said the same thing about those rules and said those rules were gonna ruin the game, and it's like they didn't. Like I agree, you need to keep physicality in the game, but it needs to be more about talent than it is about fucking destroying people's lives. Like,
and I'm with you. I mean, there's more. If I had to guess, there was more cases of like the CTE from the head-to-head hits, contact or whatever. Than all I know from what I've been like looking through and everything, and what I've been hearing. The only two plays that really come to mind were the Tony Pollard and that Mark Andrews one. That's the only ones I remember.
So I've seen certain people describe it. It's like certain people are like, well, if you can't tackle me without dropping your hips onto my legs, it's because you just can't tackle me. So you shouldn't be able to tackle me. Like if I come up behind you and I'm grabbing you and you're just pulling me, then you're beating me. So these players are doing it and then they're twisting so their legs fall or their whole body falls on the player's legs.
Do that again.
The Ramba,
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll have to see. Like I don't really understand it enough to really get into like a passionate debate about it. But on one hand, I do see it's like if you can't fucking tackle me, you can't tackle me. You shouldn't be out here fucking falling on my legs,
Right.
like and tearing my ACL because you're not strong enough to bring me to the ground. But on the other hand, it's like that becomes like you said, it's so muddled because like, what if I didn't do that? But because the way we're falling,
I'm just gonna let you go ahead and gain the yardage.
Yeah, or if I tackle you, I'm not doing it on purpose because we're moving 20 miles an hour. Like my body kind of twists as we're falling down, and now it looks like I dropped my hips on this guy's leg when I really didn't. So
it's gonna be fucked.
yeah, it just seems like it needs to be a call that needs to only be called when absolutely obvious. If there's even like a little inkling that it wasn't on purpose, just don't call it. It needs to be a call like that motherfucker just dropped on his knee on purpose to bring him to the ground.
Yeah.
But that's not how it's gonna be. That's not how it's gonna be. It's gonna be abused, and some playoff game is gonna be some playoff game's gonna be decided thanks to the sound effects.
Personal foul on the defense.
Yeah.
Swivel drop tackle.
Whatever the fucking rule is.
He did
15-yard penalty.
He did the
First
Macarena
down.
on his knees. Like, well, we'll see. All we can do now is hope for the best.
For preseason, we'll see it.
I don't know. I'm very on the fence with this one. Normally, I'm pretty pick my side and go with it, but I just don't know. I don't know where to fall here. Yeah. But that's all the big news in sports. Did we miss anything? Anyone?
I think we got a lot of coverage.
I think we got everything. We won't talk too much about it because it's time to go home. But I'm sorry, man. Snead to the Titans. That's a tough one. I know you wanted
cool.
him.
It's like the money. Like I can see why Chris Ballard didn't pull the trigger, but there was a lot of false reports out there because it was a mess. Most of Colts Twitter thought it was a done deal. They're just waiting on the contract stuff.
Yeah.
But the real insiders were like, Colts aren't even talking to the fucking Chiefs at all. So why are you guys getting ahead of yourselves? Don't get me wrong. I would love L'Jarius Sneed to be on the Colts, but it's like for what he got paid and everything, and sort of what the path we're trying to build up here. I just don't think it would have aligned. So I don't blame him for not pulling the trigger on that.
Yeah. What something like I see a lot now that I'm like actually like I get a lot more into it, like into the podcast and stuff, is a lot of these teams. It's great having those good players, but you see stupid teams like the Giants where they pay Brian Burns, and it's going to be awesome having Brian Burns, but it's also going to be kind of a waste. You're paying all this money for a player who's just going to give you a lot for nothing, which is cool for him. Not on his. Not on. I know he would like to win a Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, he's going to make a ton of money. Yeah. But from the team building standpoint, it's like those are reps that can go to a young guy, and you can see for cheaper, and you shouldn't make these splashes until you know you're a step away. So I think at the end of the day, I didn't know Steve was 27. I thought he was 25, 26.
Yeah,
so he'll be 20. Yeah. He just turned 27.
And I didn't know this. He doesn't have any all-team selections or all-pro, whatever you call them.
I don't care. He should have got one last year. He was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, he did
get.
Yeah, he did get snubbed.
He was so good last year. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, you guys were smart. I think like if the Bills signed Von Miller 3 years ago, or 3 years before Josh Allen became Josh Allen, what the fuck's the point? You're just paying the guy a lot of money to do nothing.
Right.
Like you make those moves after you're already a Super Bowl contender, and you're like, what is the one thing we're missing? That's when you spend the money.
And a lot of I seen a lot of the Colts fans are like, we got a quarterback on a rookie contract. Why don't we just go make those splashes? But that's just not,
because you're gonna want to make a splash a couple years from now, and you're not gonna be able to.
And
because
that's not even Chris Ballard's style. He's done that one time with DeForest Buckner. There's never been any other scenario where that's happened. So
you got to re-sign guys,
and he's re-signed basically every single player he's drafted that's worth that next contract. So it's like, I know we keep running it back, but these guys are still young as fuck.
Until A-Rich shows that he can make you guys a contender with what you guys have.
Oh, then I think you'll see.
Then it's like, okay, what position do we really need? Because you guys can draft a cornerback that would be missing all these snaps.
What pick do you guys got?
15. I think it's going to be Quinion Mitchell. I think they're putting themselves at a spot.
I got him going earlier, but
they can't pass him up. Who you got him?
I got him at he might be top 10 for me.
He's good. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta does. They do need an edge rusher, but if you like to have a AJ Terrell, Quinion Mitchell, or Terry and Arnold duo, that's fire.
I'm honestly cool with any of those top three corners. I'm just saying Quinion Mitchell because it's possible. He stood out to me the most. But.
Yeah. All right, well, that was the TrapNerd Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for all listening. That was really good. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Tank, for coming on.
Producing. Back, man.
Yeah, thanks for finally showing up, Joe. I'm just fucking with you.
Jeez,
Draft
that was on his
coverage.
deathbed.
I missed
I'm
like
just-
the last 4 though.
Draft coverage will continue. We'll start putting out some player rankings. I'll be doing my second mock draft next week.
Let's do a mock on the pod next week.
All right.
Go ahead.
Harry didn't want to get one because he's like fully fucking enamored into March
March
Madness. But yeah, so be on the lookout for all that. Thank you,
I'll
Tank,
be here
once
next.
again.
I'll be here next week.
Oh yeah, you're
Cool.
next week too.
I'm Rich Branto for the next.
If you
2
want to
weeks.
pull your, if you want to bring your mock in, we can
yeah, I
compare
can
'em.
pull it up on there. We can do it.
We'll just go real quick
That'd
and
be fun.
compare them all and see where we're at.
All right, peace.
Thank you guys for listening. We're out of here.
He's outta here.
Peace.